Risky behavior.
Yo. What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Risky Behavior. This is Diabolical, the worst news ever. So basically, I'm just gonna be playing a bunch of random news clips, things I've seen in the news, some recent, some a little bit old. And just a little random show. Like things you see in the news, like this world is going crazy. So, welcome to Risky Behavior, the podcast where we explore the fascinating and often perplexing world of human actions. Why do we engage in risky behavior? Well, from the complexities of love and relationships to the nuances of religion, politics, and even crime, we'll delve into the choices we make and what drives us. Now, I don't label people as good or bad. Instead, I focus on the behaviors that can lead us down a risky path. Join me as we uncover the motivations behind our actions and examine the intriguing aspects of human nature. Let's get it started. Let's see, I did. Cool. I did add that. I'm giving some time. Waiting for my boy Prince of Petty to come in to the space. Now, first up on the list, apparently there is an OnlyFans model that was in the middle of a three-way, and they were doing this three-way on the balcony. And while they're doing this three-way on the balcony, she fell to her death. So yes, OnlyFans model falls off the balcony while doing the three-way. And the two people that were doing it, stories conflict, so they don't know if they did it on purpose or not.
A tragic incident has occurred in Nova Iguacu, Brazil, where adult star Ana Beatriz Pereira Alves, known online as Ana Polly, has fallen to her death from her hotel room. The 27-year-old, famous for her presence on OnlyFans, was reportedly finishing a filming session when the accident took place. Ana Polly was found in the courtyard of the Aparth Hotel on January 23rd. Police have launched a thorough investigation into her death, with authorities exploring all possibilities from an unfortunate accident to a potential crime. The two male co-stars who were with her at the time have been questioned, though their accounts of the events have reportedly conflicted. They have since been released by the police. Anna's boyfriend, Pedro Henrique, has spoken out, expressing his grief and emphasizing that the police are working hard to uncover the truth. He shared the heartbreaking news with followers, saying, "If someone is to blame, they will pay." Her friends and followers have been left stunned by the loss, with many recalling how Anna had big plans for her future, eager to expand her social media presence and pursue new projects. The investigation into Ana Polly's tragic death continues. Authorities are piecing together the events leading up to her untimely demise, with new evidence emerging daily.
You know what?
In the early
That story is like shocking to me. You would not think that. Why does OnlyFans models do? Shout out, very chill guy. What's up? How you doing? How you doing? I'm just doing random news stories today. How you doing? Um, so in the story we just watched, you got an OnlyFans model with. Was she shooting OnlyFans content? Good. Are you doing good? Yeah, I'm doing good too, man. Just relaxing on the weekend. Just a boring weekend day. But you got an OnlyFans model that's up on the balcony having sex with two guys and falls to her death. What up? We got the Prince of Petty in the building. There you go.
What up?
You want me to play? I'm gonna play that first one again. Because I'm kind of confused by it, seriously.
A tragic incident has occurred in Nova Iguacu, Brazil, where adult star Ana Beatriz Pereira Alves, known online as Ana Polly, has fallen to her death from her hotel room. The 27-year-old, famous for her presence on OnlyFans, was reportedly finishing a filming session when the accident took place. Ana Polly was found in the courtyard of the Aparth Hotel on January 23rd. Police have launched a thorough investigation into her death, with authorities exploring all possibilities from an unfortunate accident to a potential crime. The two male co-stars who were with her at the time have been questioned, though their accounts of the events have reportedly conflicted. They have since been released by the police. Anna's boyfriend, Pedro Henrique, has spoken out, expressing his grief and emphasizing that the police are working hard to uncover the truth. He shared the heartbreaking news with followers, saying, "If someone is to blame, they will pay." Her friends and followers have been left stunned by the loss, with many recalling how Anna had big plans for her future, eager to expand her social media presence and pursue new projects. The investigation into Ana Polly's tragic death continues. Authorities are piecing together the events leading up to her untimely demise, with new evidence emerging daily.
Now, very chill guy. Dang is the correct word. Dang. Damn.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's
that's
crazy.
sad.
And
Yeah. But
one of
here's
the
my thing.
articles, what?
If they were co-stars, wouldn't this be all recorded?
Yes, yes. I was actually just about to say they have one of the articles that I read was they were actually shooting OnlyFans content. So this is on camera.
Oh, okay. Because they were saying like the stories was conflicted, but I'm like, if they was filming, I think there's no way they could do conflicting stories because it would be on camera.
Correct. Now, what surprised me, because I didn't read this in no article, so this video was new to me, was that the boyfriend is in shock and saying that if somebody's to blame, they're going to find out. But to the boyfriend, you wasn't one of those dudes she was doing that with. Damn,
Nope. She with two other guys on the balcony.
that's
That's
crazy.
that's a crazy way to go out. I'm not against. I mean, if you ever watch porn, you can't judge nobody that does porn. So I just think that's an unfortunate way to go out.
My thing is, would this be part of the new season on 1,000 Ways to Die? Because I mean, you don't see that every day.
You don't. That would be on there. That would have to be on there. All right. Next up.
In the early hours of September 20th, 2015, police in Sunrise, Florida, responded to a 911 call made by 24-year-old Fidel Lopez, who was in a state of panic, claiming that his girlfriend, 31-year-old Maria Nemeth, was having trouble breathing and was going to die. Lopez frantically shouted into the phone, urging the dispatcher to send help as he feared for her life.
911, what is your emergency?
Hello? Fucking hurry up, man. My girlfriend's fucking in the bathroom. She didn't breathe. I'm here. Come on, go. She's gonna die, man. Come on. Okay. Come here, man. Please. I can barely understand.
Police and paramedics rushed to the apartment complex on 128th Drive. But what they found upon arrival was far worse than anyone could have imagined. Inside the dimly lit apartment, officers were confronted with a gruesome crime scene. Blood smeared the hallway walls and floors, along with pieces of human tissue, formed a trail leading to the bathroom. As the officers approached the bathroom, they were met by the sounds of wailing. They found Lopez on the floor, holding the lifeless naked body of Maria Nemeth. Her body was mutilated, with her intestines brutally torn out from her vagina. Lopez was immediately taken into custody, and as police investigated further, the full horror of what had occurred began to unfold. Upon his arrest, Lopez initially claimed that Maria had asked for rough sex that involved the use of objects, but his story soon fell apart. Detectives noticed that Lopez's account didn't match the brutality of the crime scene. Under pressure, Lopez broke down and admitted that while he and Maria were having sex, she had twice uttered the name of her ex-husband, which enraged him. In a fit of rage, he trashed the apartment, smashing objects and punching walls. He then returned to Maria, who was unconscious, and brutally assaulted her, shoving a beer bottle, a hair straightener, and his fists into her vagina and anus.
What
Lopez
the?
escalated the violence by inserting his arm up to the elbow and ripping out parts of her intestines. After realizing she was dead, he attempted to clean up, but eventually called 911 in a panic. Initially pleading not guilty to the murder, Fidel Lopez later changed his plea to guilty in July 2017. His guilty plea was part of a deal that spared him the death penalty. Instead, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Mm-hmm. Now that's insane, ain't it?
Man, that's beyond insane. That Jesus Christ. That I
Very
mean,
chill
did
guy
she?
says that guy is a psycho. Yep, yeah.
Nah. That's disrespectful to psychopaths. That's on a completely different. That's on a completely different level right there. Good God Almighty.
Yeah, who would think to do that? Oh, also, as you come into the building, if you please would smash that like button. Yeah, put us in the algorithm, help more people come into the room if you would. But yeah, that's terrible. Very chill guy says the worst way to go out. Yeah. You wouldn't think nobody would do that. Who would think of that?
I would rather be set on fire. I would rather die in a blazing inferno than like that.
Mm. Yeah, that's just, I don't think nobody's ever even thought of that. Like, remember we used to play the game, like we'd be like, oh, what's the worst way to go out? Everybody would say like drowning, fire, or like falling, right? And nobody ever thought of that.
Being mauled by a lion or something like that. Yeah, nobody's ever thought of that before. No, that's a new one. That's a new one.
This girl had a big smile on her face, being sentenced. I guess she was like setting up guys to be robbed, and the guys end up dying.
Erica Jenkins is the first of the Jenkins family to be sentenced to prison time in Douglas County District Court. Judge Peter
Will be a
Battalion
black
ordered
sheep.
her to spend at least 4 decades in prison for robbery. A jury convicted her of luring Jorge Ruiz and Juan Pena to Spring Lake Park to rob them when her brother Nico blasted them in the heads with a shotgun. In court, Erica said Nico killed them for his sacrifices, but their cousin, Christine Bordeaux, wanted to rob them. She went on to say, quote,
Let's see. Oh, very chill guy. All right, man. I'll catch you later, bro. Good luck on the football game. He said he'll be back later. He got a football game. All right. I appreciate you coming through, though.
I feel like I'm being targeted, and I feel like you're trying to make an example of me because I'm the first to be sentenced out of all this.
It's just an ongoing saga that we'll deal with, and we'll get them held accountable and responsible for this, and make sure that the people of Douglas County are protected from individuals like that.
Jenkins said there's a conspiracy against her family, including her brother. She blamed the Department of Corrections for Nico's killing spree, saying, quote, they made him who he is. He's their Frankenstein.
And you remember the guy, that's the guy with the tattoos and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge Battalion said the crimes are some of the most brutal that his court is aware of.
You heard her. It's the Department of Corrections' fault. It's everybody else's fault, and she takes no responsibility for actions.
The sentencing was moved forward after Jenkins allegedly assaulted 2 female guards at the jail on Tuesday, bringing the number of alleged attacks to more than 6. Jenkins said, quote, I'm ready to go to prison because I'm having problems in the county jail because the guards keep jumping me.
She's cost Douglas County a lot in a lot of ways. I mean, it's just difficult to maintain her here. She obviously doesn't want to be here, so we'll let her start her sentence, and then we'll bring her back for these other cases.
In another surprising revelation, the judge allows Erica Jenkins to represent herself in the Curtis Bradford murder trial and her conspiracy trial in the murder of Andrea Kruger. Both are scheduled for January. Reporting live, Jake Wazakowski, KMTV Action 3 News.
She might need a competency hearing. I mean, you got to be off your rocker if you're going to defend yourself in a murder case.
Hey, yeah. Hey, that family ain't nobody to mess with.
Clearly.
That's when them girls say, I'm going to get my brother. You straighten up. Tell your brother
Yeah,
I said
right.
I'm sorry. Tell him I said I'm sorry.
Me, I'm the type shoot. As soon as you introduce me to your brother and you tell me he crazy, I'm good. We ain't got to talk no more.
I'm telling you, man, that.
Because all it's going to take is you on a mad day. It's something not going your way, and you go tell him some nonsense, and he come shoot up my dog on the house. Like, nope, I'm good. So all you gotta tell me is he crazy. That's it.
I'm scared of anybody when they say we finna lock you up and they say hurry up. I'm ready to they ready, like she ready to go. Like, ain't nobody
She coming
you
at
want to miss.
waving.
Yeah, she ready to go, man. I'm telling you, man, leave them alone. Here go another one of the ones that you shared with me. I found it. This one, I was like, oh my goodness. Imagine like you going to school, you get in the healthcare field, and you throw it all away for what?
Crazy.
Getting it popping on her patients.
You just don't do this to people. You don't.
This Atlanta area healthcare worker seen on TikTok dipping it low on her patient's forehead. Patients, you can see, are living with disabilities.
This is not a laughing matter.
And with the backlash,
it's not what it is. Trust and believe.
She had plenty to say on social media, but police weren't buying it. A breaking update. She has just been charged. And when the shade room started looking into the so-called nurse and
Jesus Christ. Good. They made her take out all that weed. Jeez, put it back in. Good God.
They wrong for that. Oh,
she wrong for smiling. She wrong for smiling. Damn them. No, they did their job. She wrong.
Oh my Lord. It like she didn't wash up under there.
Hey, Tommy said they don't be washed there. They just do weave after weave after weave. Hey.
Watch this though. Oh, let me see. I'm telling you, and you will meet this person out, you know, hey, how you doing? You want to go out and get something to eat?
It's not what it is. Trust and believe.
And that's what's
she had
up under
plenty to
that.
say on social media, but police weren't buying it. A breaking update.
That is insane.
Completely different person. That's wild.
Oh my goodness.
She has just been charged. And when the shade room started looking into the so-called nurse and who she works for, you may be shocked. I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates.
Come on, give us the news.
They're wrong for that title, though.
On social media,
I know. He about to tell her what we need to know, though. He done got to the bottom of it.
She's Krisha Malou, and if she was looking for likes and follows on social media, she surely got it last week, but it was at the expense of at least two men who appear to be disabled, who she was taking care of at the time. Not only did she drop her cakes and other body parts on top of their head, but she also did so while she was administering pills to them. It got the internet in a frenzy, many asking, what if this was my loved one? There's fun at work, but is this taking it too far?
This is personal. He's personally in the bathtub.
Ebony Johnson has worked in healthcare for over 20 years and has never seen anything like this. She now owns a network of home-based healthcare companies across the East Coast.
They trust us. Not only do they trust us, their families trust us, the states trust us to provide the care that we say we're going to give to these individuals.
And Johnson says this is a violation of that on multiple levels. Lucretia Quayan is her real name, 19 years old, charged on Tuesday with exploiting a disabled person. This is her dancing on top of what's believed to be her male patient, sitting in a bathtub. As the music plays, she reaches in her scrubs, pulls out pills, and gives it to him before the video abruptly shuts off.
That really
Oh, my
fired
Lord.
me up. You must follow the proper steps in order to administer medication to an individual in any type of home care setting, of any type of intellectual disability, residential programs. You have to follow these steps. That's not one of the steps. Standing above someone, twerking above their head and just popping a pill in their mouth.
She's not only an entrepreneur, Johnson also teaches classes on how to properly administer drugs to patients. The most important lesson is documentation.
So check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4 is to make sure that you are ensuring that you're giving the right medication to the right person in the right place at the right time. This is not a laughing matter.
Not a laughing matter
It's
either
not,
for the
'cause she done
million people
overdosed
who watch
somebody.
this, quote, nurse, as she calls herself, try to explain what went down.
It's not what it is. Trust and believe. All I gotta say for now is angles play a big part, but we're gonna be into that another time.
No matter the angle, you can clearly see her crotch area is on his forehead.
A lot of people in the comments talking about sexual assault, rape, just all type of dumb shit. Non-verbal, trust and believe. He's
She
verbal.
patting that weave. She gotta pat that weave.
To his kins, then I don't know what's going on over there.
She's just a blatant liar. The angle, girl, we see you on camera now. Come on now.
But around here, he be verbal, and I got proof. What you say?
I'll give him a hug.
You want to get a hug?
Yeah.
Okay.
And check this out too. This is video that's since been deleted, but she was seen here doing the same type of dance to another patient in another video, but without medication.
So my heart pours out for him that he has to be subjected to so much ridicule for someone's entertainment pleasure, for them to get likes and views and things of that nature.
Let's talk HIPAA laws. According to HIPAA, patients must give their consent and healthcare providers must also protect the patient's privacy. Patients also should be informed of the purpose of the recording, which is the reason why the shade room is choosing not to show the man's face.
He looks very aware and comfortable to me, so y'all need to stop jumping to conclusions, even though, yeah, I do see how he look, but trust me, it's not that. Enough is enough. Stay tuned.
If you saw one of your staff members doing this to a patient, what would be your first line of action?
First line of action, I am reaching out to that person immediately and I am removing them from that individual so they would not be working. They will be on a non-paid suspension pending investigation.
But here's where it gets tricky. It says that she works at Publix on Facebook at the moment, but before she went viral, this is who she listed as her employer. SNL Healthcare. Online, it says that their philosophy and vision is to, quote, provide the highest quality care and excellent services while promoting the social interaction of seniors and a nurturing family-like environment. Each member of our team is committed to respecting your loved one as an individual with unique wants and needs, regardless of their current level of independence or capability, end quote.
Who's to say that wasn't a
here as a
unique one, though?
nursing care agency. It's based in Loganville.
What'd you say?
Who was to say that that wasn't a unique one? Hey, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate now, but those patients, they probably enjoyed that. I'm just keeping 100 with you.
I know, man, but you still gotta. I think more so as you gotta protect your company. Now,
Yeah, she messed up recording.
Yeah, if you want to hire a young lady to come over there and give you lap dances, ain't nothing wrong with that, but it just can't be your caretaker, because your caretaker got to make sure you get your because the main thing in the first one was the medication.
Right.
It's a certain way that has to be done to protect, man. Those are major lawsuits, man. If that thing is done incorrectly, somebody could be killed by their medicine being off. Some of the medicine that they're administering, if not administered correctly, could cause death. So I guess that's the main reason. Also, her recording it.
Yeah, that's what she messed up.
Yeah, her recording it, the family, because first of all, if a person need a caretaker, they don't. To me, I would assume they don't have full autonomy anyway. So
Correct.
If I hire you to take care of my grandfather, grandma, disabled person, you'll only do what I hired you to do. Anything outside of that, I'm going to fire you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to see if there's any laws broken criminally. You see what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
that's the other part of it. You know, this probably wouldn't be an issue if that person hired their own caretaker and they had their own relationship or something like. Because you got some people that are perfectly fine to have caretakers. They talk fine. They just might need a little help around the house and some medication, maybe. But these people, that's why people were saying they were nonverbal. These are people that are mentally, handicapped, I guess.
Yeah.
And so that they definitely cannot. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to prove that they gave you any type of consent. You see what I'm saying? Um, you know.
Yeah, I see the point. I agree. I agree with everything you said. But I mean, I don't know. Like, hey, blink twice if I could twerk on you or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Who we got here? KPB3721. Shout out. She has been handling old people all day, wiping asses and sweating. You know that twerk win had to stink, bruh.
Yeah.
Did you see when we when the wig came off during the mug shot?
Oh yes. Did you see that mug shot? Oh my God. That did her no justice at all.
KP, I'm gonna show that one more time. When this video end, I'm gonna go back to they probably put it back up on the screen to be funny though. SNL. I wonder, is this a real well, I got a text, a cut.
Georgia, which is about an hour east of Atlanta. The owner, Mary Nayu, listed here on the National Provider Identifier Database.
Please leave your message for Mary Nayu.
We called. She has not returned our calls or email for comment. It's also been reported, too, that Mary is Krisha's mother. The Shade Room, though, is still working to verify that, but it's still clear she ain't worried about nothing. It appears that it's business as clear. She ain't reported, too, that Mary is Krisha. We called. She has not returned our calls or email for comment. It's also been reported, too, that Mary is Krisha's mother.
Hold on. So she worked for her mama company. Is that what they saying?
That's what they're saying. Yeah. That's her mama company. I can tell you right now, unless she has a boyfriend who loves her deeply, her mama ain't about to bail her out of jail. I can tell you that right now.
I think I don't know what's going on. It seems like I tell you what I think it is. Shout out to my boy Johnson. He back up in the building. He said my man is back at the live. Need to bring back shaming these 304s. Yes, they do. And this girl here ain't got no shame. I think her mama and them that just started them up a business. And I mean, it's good money, probably. Start you up a little healthcare business. I wonder what what you need to start that business up and get out there. Most of the people probably, got health insurance or something from the government, and that's how they get paid.
Most likely.
Yeah, because when they read off the name of it and looked it up, I felt weird seeing that name. And so just to think that this girl, her mom owns the company, that's why she's so bold the way she is, and she don't care.
Clearly, yeah. She probably smiling in a mugshot, looking like one of those little furry balls from the movie Critters. She probably looked like that and smirking because she know mom's got her back, but let me would have been pops. Oh no, you gonna sit in that, baby girl. You sitting in there, you taking this L.
That's crazy, man. You can't
The
make this
Shade
up.
Room, though, is still working to verify that, but it's still clear she ain't worried about nothing. It appears that it's business as usual on TikTok. Krisha, just 4 days ago, posting this in her scrubs.
Oh, she posts this video about how she hates working night shifts, and we haven't heard anything from her since.
I'm speechless. I'm completely speechless. You just don't do this to people. You don't.
We did check the Georgia Secretary of State website. Neither SNL Healthcare, Mary, nor Krisha were listed on there. We also reached out to all of them for a comment. We're still waiting to hear back. As a reminder, though, always do your homework when you're searching for at-home care. Always check for a license. Make sure they have no complaints on their record. A quick search will certainly go a long way. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter.
Yeah, people gonna have to. I told him I would. I told him I would play that mug shot. Hold on.
And Johnson says this is a violation of that on
There you go.
multiple levels. Lucretia Koyan is her real name, 19 years old, charged on Tuesday with
KP said he
exploiting
saw
a
it. It was
disabled
heinous.
person. This is her dancing on top of what's believed to be her male patient, sitting in a bathtub. As the music plays, she reaches in her scrubs, pulls out.
What did you say? Oh, that's crazy. Just violating your mama's business. Wow, man, I can never disrespect Dukes like that. You know what? But there is a part though. I don't know if Mom Dukes is not up to par on her side of the business as well, right? This could be something pending further investigation that could take down that whole business, right? If Mom does not have all the paperwork in order. And so they could have been making good money, low key, flying under the radar, right? And then your daughter goes and puts herself on the internet and might sink the whole ship. That's crazy.
That's why I say her behind ain't getting bailed out. I can tell you right now, she's gonna be sitting up and now. I wouldn't bail out personally speaking. I wouldn't bail out. You're gonna sit up and now. You're gonna take this L. How dare you?
Yeah, that's insane. She might see the whole shit. Because what if her mom found a way to just make them some money, right? Maybe they don't. Maybe they're not all up to date on everything. But look, as long as we do a good job, we can get to that point, right? And right before they get to that point, your daughter posts a TikTok video twerking on patients, and now the whole ship just goes down. It's crazy. KP says yes. She flopped the whole hustle. Yep, flopped the whole hustle.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she definitely did.
Cause I'm like, that's some good money if you can establish that. But it seems like she wants more the TikTok fame.
Say, bro, what time it say about the hood rats, bro? They want DNA. D word and attention.
Yep. She craved the attention more than the money, man. That's sad. That's why I said, man, she went to school. Because it's not like, I don't think they said she was a fake nurse. You go to school, you get that education, girl. Don't, come on, man. You got a niche. She has a niche audience anyway. Being a nurse, she could easily just show her routine from day to day and just really do the job and probably get more views, get more support, and get better ads on her video. She would make more money doing that versus the twerk videos in the first place.
Exactly. But they're not thinking like that.
That's crazy, man.
She really fumbled the ball, not only for her mom, but for the family in general. You know, not to mention the people, provided they were able to expand or something like that, you can hire others and be making racks on racks on racks. Man, she fumbled the whole deal with that.
She did. Good thing for her. She young enough to start over and nobody died. You know what I'm saying? For her doing the medication.
Nah, this story had made it to the shade room. This story had made it to the shade room. No,
she moved to another state though.
Somebody gonna recognize him. I guarantee you any money. Somebody gonna recognize him. She gonna have to go into something like witness protection. Something. She gotta change her name, get a new ID. That girl never work in the medical field again. I guarantee you. She made it to the shade room. That is viral.
I know. Shout out to everybody out there. This is Risky Behavior. This is the Risky and Petty Show. I got my boy, the Prince of Petty, in the building. As you come in, please make sure you smash that like button. As Tommy Sotomayor would say, please don't treat us like a side chick or that porn that you watch in secret. We're doing random news clips. That's why the title of this show is Diabolical, Worst News Ever.
Boy, that mugshot was definitely diabolical.
Oh, it was. That's like Rocco. He just had a mug shot recently, and I guess they made him take his hairpiece off. So he's got like in the center of his head, like just all the top part is bald. So I guess he wears a hairpiece. So they make you take it off in the mugshot to be funny. I think because I know some people they don't make them take that stuff off. I think they do that when
Some
they're trying to
do,
be funny.
some don't. Some do, some don't. And I know they I think when Lil Wayne went to jail, they made him take out his grill and all that. So like people like when you go to prison for the most part, if parts on your I guess you say body that's visible or that's quote unquote fake, yeah, most prisons make you take all that off. Most jailhouses make you take all that off.
Yeah. Well, we got more nurses. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, but I'm still trying to ditch that trauma from that mugshot.
Oh man, that's gonna stick with you, man. You gotta go to therapy to get that mugshot out your head, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see that mugshot for the rest of the
Patients at
evening.
Colonial Heights Rehabilitation and Nursing Center are questioning what level of care their loved ones will receive.
Can you hear that good?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, okay.
After police issued charges against 18 staff members Wednesday morning.
Ranging from nursing staff all the way to the director of the facility.
Senior reporter Wayne Koval captured video as every employee was ID'd by police pulling into work to see if they were on a list of people facing criminal charges. The arrests come after a potential elder abuse complaint was made in October. Police say a 74-year-old patient was hospitalized and ultimately died due to inadequate care received at the facility. Since then, Colonial Heights Police and multiple local and state agencies, including the State Attorney General's Elder Abuse Task Force, have been investigating the facility. The director of the facility, Shawanda Jeter, and nurse Danielle Harris are behind bars as they face multiple felony abuse and neglect of vulnerable adult charges. Police are working to arrest 2 other staff, Kamisha Kittrell and Shamika Brewer, on the same felony charges. Meanwhile, 13 other staff members have been charged with falsifying patient records, which is a misdemeanor. A person whose mom is in the facility shared concerns with CBS 6 off camera. They question how the facility is functioning with an adequate level of care with so many staff members being arrested. They went to check things out Wednesday night out of concern and tells us it appears that it was still business as usual. They shared that night staff were not sure what was happening. The Virginia Department of Health is not helping the facility with care. They say the Office of Licensure and Certification's role is to ensure code and federal and state regulatory compliance of nursing homes. A PR firm representing the owners of the facility said they are aware of the events that happened and are cooperating with law enforcement. We asked them about the staffing as a result of the arrests and families' concerns with care. They issued a statement saying, quote, "We are not at liberty to discuss anything as the investigation is ongoing. We are focused as always on the care of our residents."
I'm telling you, these people get these they get these businesses with these people. They think it's gonna be easy. They think, oh, we're just gonna go in there, take care of some older people, and they fold. They can't keep up with the records and do it how it's supposed to do. They think it's gonna be easy money, and it's not. I don't think they start off that way. I think they start off with good intentions, thinking that they can just do it. I think it's harder than what they think it is, and they don't keep up the code and doing what they're supposed to do.
My thing about it is, and this is why I tell this is an inside joke with myself and my wife. I can't start a business because if I do, and you come at me with some type of crazy made up name like the 3 we just heard, I'm gonna put your application at the bottom of the stack. I'm not gonna take the risk like that. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Oh yeah, that lady
A
was
tragic incident has occurred in Nova.
That lady was the director. Shawanda was.
Shawanda Jeter, good Lord Almighty. Her mugshot wasn't as bad. But, her mugshot looked kind of chat.
Now I think I found these next ones, and I think that they all go together. But I was basing off this one is with the bills.
I'm honored to yield 2 minutes to the gentlewoman from New York, Representative Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, Madam Ranking Member.
Yo, what's up, Marcus? Oh, and KP, I saw what you said earlier because you said, yeah, they took Wayne's permanent teeth out when he went to prison. I remember that. And that's like, I would imagine they would have gave him some temporary like white teeth or something to put over because they file your teeth down just to put those things on and stuff. I got a homeboy I know that had goals, and he had the process every year. He had to go get them clean. They take the teeth off and kind of clean up under there, even when they're permanent, you got to get them taken off periodically and get them clean. Shout out to Marcus Banks. He said it's a lot harder than they think it is. Yes. He's talking about the nursing home. People get in that business thinking that it's easy and they fail, man. You got to be up to par when you're dealing with these people with medication, taking care of them. You got to maintain records, stay up to code. Yeah. This is a member of Congress speaks on the House floor. This is discussing the title is Trans Girls Are Girls. AOC blasts GOP bill to ban transgender athletes from women's sports. And I forget her name, but
Here we are today, Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act, who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body, who, as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there, allowing us to die, now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls.
okay, so what I gather, basically, she's trying to say they're all hypocrites. Y'all don't really care about women. Y'all just want to attack trans women because you didn't care about us when we were getting, killed, beaten, femicide, things of that nature. But now all of a sudden y'all act like y'all care because y'all just want to attack this other particular group.
And to that, today, what we have to say are 2 words: not today. The majority right now says there's no place in this bill that says it opens up for genital examination.
Okay, shout out. KP says, what do you say? Oh, Alexandria Cortez. Okay, that's her name. Okay, thank you.
Well, here's the thing. There's no enforcement mechanism in this bill. And when there is no enforcement mechanism, you open the door to every enforcement mechanism. Trans girls are girls. And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen. I don't know about y'all. I don't know who's been to gym class lately, but girls, even if you only believe in 2 genders, I've played co-ed sports all the time. But what this also opens the door for is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men who are drafting this bill, and to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies. I know who loves this bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this bill. Assaulters love this bill. But also, CEOs love this bill because Los Angeles is on fire right now. And this is the #1 priority the majority has. Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentlewoman. Hey, they were trying to cut her off, but they were watching her time. When you get down to the end of your time, and you almost done talking and they start cutting you off, that means they were watching your clock.
They was watching your clock and they waiting on you to shut up.
I know, man. They like, oh, hey, that's enough. Hey, she going over her time. Marcus Banks says there's some truth in her words. I do agree with that, because even if you agree with something that somebody said, right? Say you agreed in this bill, but in the same breath, I don't agree with you trying to do it in my name as if you care about me. Don't just say that's what you want to do, but don't say you're doing it because you care about me, because you haven't been caring about me.
Yeah, I can see that. But in that same breath, when she said that there's so many, what she said, women bleeding out in parking lots or whatever the case, I wouldn't necessarily deem that to be true, because lo and behold, when it comes to the system, women get slaps on the wrist, and the men who murder a woman or whatever like that, they get thrown under the jail. So I mean, really and truly, I mean, if she's trying to say that women aren't protected, I mean, that's kind of a lie.
Yeah, that is, and it's data to show that women are sentenced less time than men for the same crimes. So that is very true, and I think both of the sides of the argument represent a small portion of people, right? Like for me, I really don't have an opinion on that. I don't think there's that many trans women trying to take over in sports. I just don't. You might have a few of them here and there sprinkled around, but I don't see necessarily a hostile takeover when it comes to that. So I would leave that for women to decide. To be honest with you, even though I would say that I don't agree with it, because to me sports is very strict. Like, it's so strict because you got to make sure it's as fair as possible, because you're talking about a competition. And so that's why I disagree. I think some people think that you don't want it to happen, and they think it's based off of hatred. And it's just that I just think that even with the hormone, the therapy and stuff like that, and depending on when you started it, I think you still have an unfair advantage. But that's not based off of hate. That's just me, a person playing sports. I think you got to try to get it as close, as fair as possible. T says, rules have been tricked into believing that Democrats want communism. They don't. People who went to college and have good jobs would never share their money with Trump's ignorant supporters. Marcus Banks came through. I don't know if you were saying exactly to something I said or Prince said, but he said facts. Shout out to you, Mr. Banks. Appreciate you coming through again today. Michael Jacques says facts plus taxes. Michael Jacques says absolutely correct, my guy. KP coming through again says right, but if you don't put a stop to it now, it'll get worse. All that let the trans in our sports. Let me see. All that let the trans into our sports until they are getting dunked on by women the size of DeMarcus Cousins. I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. I do. I understand that completely. I do.
It's mainly just the men who transition to women. It's mainly just them fighting for something like this, because you don't see trans men, you don't see women wanting to be men in the NBA or the NHL or the NFL, and you won't, because they'll get bodied every single time. They got there's a swimmer, I forgot what college it was, but he's transitioning to a woman, and he burning the hell out of them young ladies in that water. Won all the medals, all the championships. It's a dude. Of course, he's gonna glide through the water like Jesus walking across the sea. He got the upper body strength.
Yeah, that's why I think it just comes down to what's fair. It's a competition, but I don't think it has to be hate, though. Some people think it's hate. It's not. It's just you got to get as close to fair as possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's hate either. I think it's solely in the interest of fairness.
Yeah,
because you can't have a boxer who's a dude biologically boxing against a woman who wants to be a dude and think that 9 times out of 10, she's going to beat him.
Yeah. And that lady, she was a bit disingenuous because she said she competed in co-ed. There's a lot of people that do co-ed sports. I remember even playing soccer, and you would play. Sometimes it would be boys and girls on the same team. That changes the older you get. It don't stay that way.
Right, exactly.
So
Right.
she's saying that, but not once you get to a certain level, all that goes out. Yeah. Michael says, I mind my butt, pay attention to everything. Yep. KP coming through. Okay, we got Angela Ashkinson says Democrats want everyone in an equal playing field. That is an impossibility when reality is based on merit.
Facts. That was deep right there. That was a bar.
I agree to that. I'll start that one. I agree. Michael says the truth is the truth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It don't have to be hate. It's just the truth. Baby, let's say Milk Cat says wrestling goes by size. No women's wrestling though.
Now, see, I was literally just about to touch on that real quick. You'll never see in collegiate wrestling a female going against a male. You will never see that. He's gonna win 9.5 times out of 10. He is gonna flat out body her.
I seen yeah, I know my son, he does wrestling. If there's no other girl to wrestle, then and by size, then they forfeit that match. You lose. And even with the guys, the boys, if they don't have someone to match them, then they forfeit too as well. So let's see. Michael says, when it comes to this, I mind my business and pay attention to everything. Oh, yeah, no. I got what you were saying. That's a bar. KP says, not hate, just right and wrong. And Michael came through and says, you can't hate the truth. No, you can not. I agree. I think everybody in the comment, yeah, see, we all said nice things. There was no hate at all.
Yeah, we all said nice things and no hate, but it's gonna take that one trans individual to come around and say you're all transphobic.
Organ is recognized.
I'm honored to yield 2 minutes.
I don't think nobody is, and you know what? And I understand it can be you know what? It's hard. I think it's harder than what people think it is. When you think about trying to run a country, conduct sports, and you're trying to keep it fair, just make everybody happy, I think it's got to be the hardest thing in the world to do, because in one breath there is something in your human heart that says, I want these people to be able to compete in sports, but then there's another thing that's also truth that says, but wait a minute, it cannot be at the expense of other people. And there's very little opportunity. Not very little, but I mean, there's women, they need the opportunities, okay? And you can't just run over them to make room for somebody else, because it defeats the purpose of having something for them.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's where, I mean, as opposed to verbalizing it the way you just did, I think that's their intention, because you're not going to see Usain Bolt race against Sha'Carri Richardson. You'll never see that. It's unfair.
It's crazy. Like, so this is from the New York Post. Oh, as soon as it loads up.
On this vote, the yeas are 218, the nays are 206. One voted present.
Says House clears bill banning transgender women from girls' sports.
The bill is passed. That objection, motion to reconsider, is laid upon the table.
Wait, pause it real quick.
Yeah.
Now, I want to point this out. You see how they verbalize that? Transgender banning transgender transgender women from girl sports. You see how they verbalize that? They didn't say transgenders
Yeah.
from specific sports. They focused on the men trying to be women, but still trying to partake in sports. Because the other ones,
Yeah.
the women trying to be men, you don't see them doing this or complaining about it.
Oh yeah. No, this is very specific. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out. Them people know what they're doing, and it's for a reason.
On this vote, the yeas are 218, the nays are 206. One voted present. The bill is passed. That objection, motion to reconsider, is laid upon the table.
Yeah. Oh, I got
Yeah,
another one.
absolutely. It's like being African American. We are who we are. Just accept it. I mean, yeah, it's just what it is. The NBA is what 85% black. I guess we're just genetically more
The House
athletic,
passed.
stronger, faster. I guess black folk would be good at running, huh? Running across that Serengeti is in our genes.
Okay, but think about this, right? If you say that, okay, most of the NBA, right, is going to be most say it's more African Americans, right, in sports, and you're saying NBA, NFL, right? Cool.
Yes.
So that would leave less spots for white male athletes, right?
Correct.
And so this is the thing. This is how I feel about the other situation. It would be unfair to allow another group to classify themselves as white males, given, right? Because that would take, they're already limited in their positions when it comes to those sports. And then you allow another group to come in and classify themselves as them and taking up their opportunity.
Yeah, I can see that.
When it comes to that, you see what I'm saying? So I think, and that's the whole thing. So people say it's hate when you're fighting for something, but they don't realize they're taking up something that's for you, right? But if you take my seat, it's less seats for us to sit. And I think people take it as hate for some weird reason when you just say, hey, it's unfair for you to do this to me. And then that person turns around and says, well, wait a minute, you hate me. It's like, no, I don't. I'm just saying what you're doing is unfair to me.
Right. It is. Like they had people going back to that collegiate swimmer. There were girls on the swim team who were refusing to compete because he was whatever they was. So they were refusing to compete against them.
Yeah, that's what they would have to do. What KB says the white male athletes go to the NHL. Oh,
see, there you go. Yep, the NHL. Yep, we got the white, we got the Caucasians dabbling in the NHL. We got the Spanish folk doing soccer, and anything that involves running is black folk, and that's just how it is.
But you got to keep them in the NBA. Some of the best shooters are white.
True. Yes, true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, true. True about that. I ain't gonna even knock you on that one. You're right about that. But when it comes down to them layups and them dunks, who it be?
Oh,
see, see. When it comes down to them fast breaks after a rebound, who it be?
Hey, that means we need each other, man. You gotta have that shooter. You gotta have that person to do that walk up. So that's a well-rounded team right there.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, Michael. Michael, my bad. Look, every time I say Michael, I always want to finish it with B. Jordan, because I have to pause myself when I say Michael. I don't know why, because I don't know. Be your best and do your best if that's what you really want. Yes. Angela Ashkin says to KP, I gotta have me my hockey. Yeah, I remember being a little boy going to play hockey. I thought I wanted to play, but I didn't go to no school with hockey. I didn't know how to get into it. I played soccer though, but I thought hockey was just cool.
See, when I was a teenager, I always thought certain sports was genetic. Cause I tried to play hockey, hood hockey on the roller skates and stuff like that in the street and junk. Man, I failed miserably. I found out my hand-eye coordination was a hell of a lot better, so I stuck with basketball.
Oh yeah. Mine's soccer was cool, but really football, running back. Was a linebacker too. Yeah. Baseball to me was just boring. Baseball was like the funnest sport. Just chill. It was just boring.
And it's one of the highest paid sports, man. The the MLB schedule is damn near year round.
I know I would have stuck with baseball if I knew that at the time. Thanks for telling me too late, Prince.
Man, my bad, bro. My bad, man. Say, bro.
They don't have no cap.
I tell anybody, bro. If you looking to date an athlete, you try to marry an athlete, get your ass a baseball player. Man, they make money hand over fist.
Yeah, there's no cap on it, right?
No, not to my knowledge, at least. No.
Yeah, man, come on. I think this one they explained it.
The bill barring schools that receive federal funds from
Okay, so this bill is going. Okay, this has to do with the schools. Okay.
The House passed a bill barring schools that receive federal funds from allowing transgender athletes to compete in women's sports. The final vote fell largely along party lines. Republicans voted for it unanimously. All but 3 Democrats voted against it.
As a father of 2 daughters, I can tell you very clearly that there is no scenario or situation where I would want to see my daughters competing against biological males.
This bill is sloppy, vague, and prejudiced.
The legislation is officially called the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. It would make it a violation of Title IX for sports programs to permit a male to participate in an athletic activity that is designated for females. It states sex is recognized solely on the person's reproductive biology at birth.
What should be an opportunity for young women to thrive and compete has been clouded by an agenda that prioritizes so-called inclusion over fairness.
Democrats oppose the bill for multiple reasons, but one of their biggest concerns is that it does not distinguish between programs based on age and competition level. They contend it could apply to young girls playing in grade schools the same as it does to NCAA athletes, so long as the program receives federal funding. The bill's exact language is, quote, participation with any athletic team.
That's what I was talking about.
This is interrogation of young girls. This is interrogation
with any athletic.
Now, come on now.
Yeah, that's him right there. That's him.
Look how
you see how much bigger he is than him?
Yeah.
That's just what I was talking about.
I would not think that's fair. And it wouldn't be to be mean. It's just that I don't think this is fair.
Bro, if my daughter was in middle school, high school, and she's on the basketball team and one of their games is against somebody that has a trans girl on their team, my daughter ain't playing. That's unfair.
And then some people are saying, well, because he started to lose, right? But what people fail to realize, even though he started to lose, he's still ranked higher in women's sports, right? He was bottom of the barrel when he was swimming against the men.
Yep. So he transitioned over to be a woman, and look at him now.
So even if he still didn't win the championship, he's still not. I mean, come on, I can't remember the thing, but let's say he was number 300. At least he's now number 50. That still shows you that there's a huge difference.
That's still a huge difference. I mean, you're number 50 out of 300 competitors.
Yeah, like
you're still higher than the rest.
Yeah, it still shows that there's a difference. Angela says, dang, as a woman, this makes me so happy. She says, I literally have tears in my eyes. Women came a long way to get their own sports. We fought hard for it. I hate seeing men take that away from us.
Exactly, bro.
Yes.
Exactly. And also to real quick to acknowledge Michael too. Yeah, golfers get paid a lot of bread. They do make a lot of money, but with golf, it's mainly because of the sponsors. With baseball, that's straight up contract money. They're getting that no matter what. Golfers, they gotta have sponsors for the most part.
Oh yeah, okay. Appreciate you. I forgot to say something about that. I put it up so I wouldn't forget. Excuse me. But yeah, this is a good, and I understand what they're saying, but I don't think they care about that because I do understand. That's what I was saying before. They might have to add some things to that because you do have co-ed sports for younger people usually, but like I said, it separates the older you get. As you go up in weight and all that stuff, that separates. But they may be trying to fake them out. Like, what about the little kids or something? And I don't think that's going to be an issue. I don't
It's
think
not.
people are going to kick the 5-year-old girl off of the soccer team, especially since I think that team would have to be register as like an all girls, all women's team. And I don't think it would be if you're talking these little kids. I don't think they would even be classified that way. But they're trying to use that to kick it out.
I think that's a crazy argument to even begin with because I mean when you're in grade school, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sometimes sixth grade, yeah, you have a diverse team. But by the time you get to high school, no, that's separated then because you got I mean, especially with this generation here, you got 16, 17-year-old boys that's 6'9" playing basketball. You think a girl team won't play against that?
Even in park ball growing up, you have some girls that play on the football team. But boy, oh boy, like you said, when you get to high school, we really hitting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This ain't
You
that
will.
little park ball.
Yeah, this ain't touch football no more. You about to get bodied.
I'm telling you, you about to get laid out.
Yes, by the time you get to high school, you learn by force the physical difference between getting hit by a girl and being hit by a dude. You learn that quick.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think little girls playing in sports with boys is unfair to the boys because when I was playing in soccer, the girls get their growth spurt first.
Yes.
And when I say this little girl whooped me in soccer, it's ridiculous. She pretended like she missed the ball, kicked me in my inner thigh. I mean, she was ruthless.
Ooh,
I believe she was out there playing like that. Like just me. I'm telling you, and it threw me off because you always talk don't like hit with girls and stuff, so it kind of threw me off. I was kind of holding back. I made a mistake.
Yeah. It was at that moment you realized you effed up right there. That was your wake up call.
And people think because it's soccer, you just use your feet. I'm telling you, it's dirty stuff going on in soccer, man. That a person to kick you, do little stuff to you on purpose, man. And she was doing that. She was playing dirty. And I'm telling you, I think it's unfair because they get that growth spurt, so they bigger. And so, look, I'm trying to make an argument for the guys. Let me see.
Team. This is interrogation of young girls about their bodies. This is asking people to show them what is underneath their underwear. It's vile. It's twisted. They don't want to talk about the details. It's an absolute invasion of children's privacy.
The House passed this bill last year, but it was never considered in the Senate. It's unclear if it could get the 60 votes it needs this year, even with the new Republican majority. I'm Ray Bogan for Straight Arrow News. For more reporting, download the SAN app.
I think we're going to shift to like another topic with the other up in the news. Prince, I think this. Oh, okay, Prince, I found one of the ones you sent me the article on.
All right.
This one was sad.
Yeah, Steve, the family of Tyreek Burton says the best day of their lives quickly turned into the worst. I spoke to his sister who lives in Raleigh, and she says she's just struggling to figure out how something like this could happen.
And we were having the time of our lives, and it's like a blink of an eye. It just was all just stolen away from us.
Saturday was the wedding Tyreek Burton and his new bride, Kiera, had envisioned, dancing the night away with loved ones around them, moments after saying, I do.
He's one of the coolest people I know. He's one of the coolest people I know, man. He could walk into a room and that smile.
His younger sister, Brittany, sitting down with me in downtown Raleigh, telling me Tyreek was raised in Roxborough, North Carolina, along with his other 3 siblings. He and his new wife had been together for 16 years, had 4 daughters between them, and were making plans to expand their family even more. But just hours after the couple got married, tragedy struck as Tyreek was leaving the wedding venue. He was under the impression that his new bride was already home, and when she called to tell him she wasn't, he went back to get her.
He made a U-turn at the stop sign, so he never even made it out of the park all the way. It said stop sign at the very end of the park. He made a U-turn and came back, and I guess he didn't see somebody, and he cut them off, and that person followed him down to the park.
What is the address of your emergency? We just had a shooting at Barber Park Event Center.
Greensboro police responded to the Barber Park Event Center just before 9 Saturday night after a reported shooting. The victim, 37-year-old Tyreek Burton, the man who had just gotten married there hours before.
There are cameras. This was at a public park, and there were eyewitnesses, multiple, including one of his daughters, and it was done in front of his wife.
A tragedy this family is struggling to understand. Brittany telling me his 3-year-old daughter has been too occupied with family to ask where her dad is. And it's going to hurt even more when she does.
That's gonna tear Kiera apart. Words can't describe the type of man that they took. This wasn't no average guy.
And the couple were set to celebrate their honeymoon last Saturday, starting in Charlotte. Right now, no funeral arrangements for Tyreek have been made. Back to you.
Yeah, that's sad, man.
Why him? That's the question family members are asking tonight after someone killed.
Yeah. That's just terrible that on your wedding day or wedding night, just making a U-turn. That's it. That's insane. That's almost like these people in road rage is getting worse. I remember they had a story, right? A white Tahoe cut somebody off in traffic. Person gets upset, angry. They get rageful. They're going down the interstate. They find the white Tahoe. They shoot into the white Tahoe. There was some kids in the back seat. I think one of the kids was struck. Problem is, it was the wrong white Tahoe. That wasn't the person that cut him off. It was just somebody had the same car as the person they was angry with.
Wow. That should have been a capital murder charge or something, right?
I'm trying to remember if the child died. I have to find that. I don't even remember how to I don't even remember how to look. I don't even know how I would look that up. It had to have been within the last 2 years that happened, though. This just the
Killed a
same news.
groom on his wedding day. This happened in Sparrow, Carapita.
Police say the shooting that claimed the life of a newly married father of 4.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. This is the same news clip about the same thing.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, Angela said that woman is insane. Oh yeah. Are you talking about the politician? Yeah. I think that's who Angela talked about. The politician. She said they asking to look under their clothes and stuff, and she was just taking that too far. I don't think that's what I don't think that bill was suggesting that in any type of way.
No, she was trying to make that bill suggest that she was trying to put everything in her own doggone words, trying to make it seem like it's something that is not.
Yeah, like she.
Hey,
Right.
stop touching the child. You're going to cause more harm than.
All right. Shout out Marcus. He said, it is absolutely sad to see a family lose a loved one on their wedding day. Yeah, terrible, man. The happiest day ever. And he didn't even do anything but make a U-turn and mistakenly cut somebody off. Not even doing something to somebody on purpose. Not in an argument with somebody on purpose. None of that. Just something that simple, man. And people do things like that. I remember one time it was a guy. I remember my grandma told me this story. This happened like up the street from like around where she is from. Guy pulls into a gas station. Older guy, he parks his car in a parking spot because he want to go in and play the lottery. Younger guy that's out there like, man, that's my spot. I guess he's like, some young knucklehead from the neighborhood. Man, that's my spot. The old man was like, man, this ain't nobody's spot. This is a parking spot. I got here. I'm parked here, right? Goes in the store. Next thing you know, while he's paying for his stuff at the register, young guy come in the store, shoots and kill him right there in the store. Older man dead now for a parking spot. And that's crazy. Angela says, have they caught the shooter? I don't know. I didn't see anything yet to see if they caught the shooter. You know what? I'm gonna go back to that. I'll go back to that story to see.
Why him? That's the question family members are asking tonight after someone killed a groom on his wedding day. This happened Saturday night at Barber Park in
I'm gonna see if they
Greensboro.
caught
Kara
him.
Peters joins us from police headquarters with what investigators are saying about this heartbreaking story.
Police say the shooting that claimed the life of a newly married father of four, Tyreek Burton, may have been related to road rage. His family is calling it a random act of violence and are now demanding justice.
It was supposed to be one of the happiest moments of his life, and it turned into something tragic.
And now, a painful memory the family of Tyreek Burton will never forget. The 37-year-old was married for about 7 hours before a day filled with happiness and joy took an unimaginable turn. Family members called police shortly after the wedding reception wrapped up at the Barber Park Event Center. They say someone they didn't know entered the park, alleging that Burton was involved in a traffic incident. Moments later, Burton was shot in front of his new bride and several others, including his daughter.
I don't understand how somebody that don't know somebody from a can of paint could just come in and just do that. I don't, and I never will.
As Burton's family gathers around the same area where a momentous day turned traumatic, they're hoping that the person who claimed the life of a husband, father, and friend on his wedding day is held responsible.
I demand justice. I demand it. And I don't want to wait years for it. He don't deserve what he got. He waited 13 years to get his bride. As soon as he get his bride, he couldn't even take her home. It's just not fair.
Loved ones made a GoFundMe page to help with his family. They say all proceeds will be going to help his four daughters. Reporting outside Greensboro Police Headquarters, I'm Kara Peters for WXII 12 News.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't see where they say the shooter was caught.
By it being a random
Yeah,
act
I
of
don't.
violence, that tells me they ain't catching him. That's what I
Yeah,
got
I'm
out of
trying
that.
to see it. Yeah, I was typing it in. Yeah, I don't see anything that says he was caught. Maybe somebody will tell on him, and maybe somebody telling him they catch him. That'll be something I have to we'll have to just check back in. Like sometimes that happens, like we'll be looking at these cases, and then sometimes you'll check back in later on and you go, oh, okay, they finally caught somebody, right? So But yeah, so far I don't see where anybody was caught. Dang, Marcus Banks, hold on. He says, I witnessed a gentleman get killed 25 years ago in a bar over an ashtray. Oh my God. Life gone over an ashtray. Shout out Michael says the world is really getting scary. Damn shame. Yep, it's getting very, very scary. Lewis says, crazy, man. Yeah. Yep. The world again, it's so many crazy things be going on in the world. You just gotta thank God for every day that you have here alive on earth and what you have, man, and just be happy. Because it's some people out here going through just the terrible, terrible things, man. Terrible thing. I could not imagine like a monumental, just a life-changing thing happens in your life, like you get married, and that ain't the news you expect to hear around that time in your life. It's really, really not. Marcus Banks says it lets you know how little people value life nowadays.
Now
Absolutely
that right there
correct.
is a fact. That's a fact right there. I could see something bad happening at maybe a funeral. You know, somebody come shoot up the ops funeral. I can see that. But man, you getting killed, shot and killed on your wedding day, bro? That's unheard of.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Louis Ochoa, and forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. I think I pronounced it right, but forgive me if I pronounced the last name wrong. He says, I'm out here in New Mexico. 8 teens were just arrested. 1 killed for attempted robbery. Man's had his gun on him and protected himself. But his wife got hit. Ages of these kids are 12 to 17. Check it out. He said, you good. All correct. Okay, so I did say it correct. He said New Mexico 18s were just arrested. Okay. I'm gonna have to type that in and look that up. Let's see. 2 toddlers killed in alleged DUI crash with aunt behind the wheel. And this is, I guess, body cam footage of it.
Stop touching the child. You're going to cause more harm than there is done already. Do you understand?
Disturbing body camera video shows the aftermath of a deadly drunk driving crash in North Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, we want to warn you, the video and subject matter in this story may be upsetting to some.
The baby's over here. You've done enough. So you need to go on the other side.
On December 11th, multiple 911 calls came in about the massive crash.
It's on the street. It's a bad accident. There's a baby laying in the middle of the street and the mom.
Callers quickly informed dispatch about the child's severe injuries.
Honey, we got a bad accident. A baby's gone.
When first responders arrived on the scene, they found 2 women in the front seat of the totaled vehicle and a child in the back seat. Another child was also found on the ground, decapitated.
Who else is in the car?
Oh my God.
There's a baby back there too.
Baby's right here, has no head.
The driver was identified as 25-year-old Kalia Manning, the aunt of the toddlers. Their mother was identified as the passenger, 23-year-old Rainisa Clydette Glenn Washington. The children, ages 2 and 3, were both killed as a result of their injuries in the crash. Later investigations found they had not been wearing seatbelts.
I tried turning the past thing missing.
Whatever.
Officials say Manning's blood alcohol content was 0.191, which is more than twice the legal limit. Both she and Glenn Washington were taken to the hospital and later arrested.
At this point, you are being placed under arrest, okay?
Are you serious?
Nope.
So you're not serious?
Oh, I am serious. I am serious, yes.
Both women now face multiple charges, and for Manning, it's 10 charges, including DUI resulting in substantial bodily harm or death. Reporting for Law and Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Wait, so they had previous arrests? Those weren't. That was previous
WC,
much.
the woman who kidnapped her.
Yeah,
Yeah, did you catch that? Those are different pictures.
or was it the
Hey,
two same
stop
people?
touching the
Oh, hold on,
child.
I'm trying to rewind it.
On December 11th, 3 were both killed as a
Okay, hold on. So,
identified as the passenger, 23-year-old Rainisa Clydette Glenn Washington. The children, ages 2 and 3, were both killed as a result of their injuries in the crash. Later investigations found they had not been wearing seatbelts.
I called time, the passing was missing.
Whatever.
Officials say Manning's blood alcohol content was 0.191, which is more than twice the legal limit. Both she and Glenn Washington were taken to the hospital and later arrested.
At this point, you are being placed under arrest, okay?
Are you serious?
Nope.
So you're not serious?
Oh, I am serious. I am serious, yes.
Both women now face multiple charges, and for Manning,
you talking about right there?
Yeah, that's two different mugshots. I mean,
No,
I'm pretty
they're
sure
two
it's the same
different women.
two women. Yeah. I'm saying that's them, but them currently at the time of that was them in the bed at the hospital. So I'm saying prior to that car crash, they have other mugshots.
Oh, they went and got mugshots they could use for the news. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Most likely, yeah, of course. I'm pretty sure she did other DUIs now. They ain't no
Already
first
got a
one.
record. Already got a record of still driving dirty. Boy.
Marcus says, OMG, not another baby's life was lost due to negligent parents. Yep, another one. And she
Hey, bro, I do these stories all the time when it comes to the negligence of parents. Like I said previously, the issues with the fathers, those come a dime a dozen, but it's usually always negligence on the mother's part. I have stories like that out the wazoo, bro.
Crowan says, you sure those are mugshots? Yeah, I think those are mugshots. I mean, some police stations just have different looking mugshots. And believe it or not,
some
people be
mugshots,
smiling in them.
Yeah, not only that, like some police stations, they don't always use I guess you could say a tarp behind the head for the mugshot. Sometimes mugshots are taken literally in front of concrete wall or something like that. But rest assured, I'm more than 99% positive those are those are mugshots from a separate arrest.
Yeah, because her hair was different in that other when they saw like the one here with the brace, like the hair was different and stuff. KP says, yep, the mothers normally always get full custody.
That's something right there too. The mothers usually always get full custody because in a lot of situations, the fathers are afraid to fight, or the fathers may not have the disposable income to fight. So naturally, we get a lot of single mother raised households. That's why you see so often the mothers win, or you might always see the mother with the kid as opposed to the father. That's an issue in and of itself.
it's 10 charges, including DUI resulting in substantial bodily harm or death. Reporting for Long Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
So they didn't get charged with vehicular manslaughter. That is technically
the woman who kidnapped a couple of baby brothers up in Colombia.
No, I'm saying they didn't get charged with vehicular manslaughter. I mean, that's probably like the biggest charge they could have got.
I'm not sure. I think you got to hit somebody with a car for that. But I doubt those are the final charges. I doubt those are the final charges anyway. They'll probably change it.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
A couple of baby.
Okay, this one is Ohio woman accused of stealing car with 2 babies inside, sentenced to prison.
brothers up in Columbus will spend more than 20 years in prison. Remember this case? 25-year-old Nala Jackson pleading guilty to 2 federal kidnapping charges. Those babies were in the backseat of a running car she stole outside a pizza shop. So she ended up abandoning one baby all the way at the Dayton airport and another over in Indianapolis. Today, Jackson cried in court, saying she was high on meth at the time and regrets it every day. She was sentenced to 23 years in prison.
Damn. Yeah, meth, boy.
She'll do 10. She's not gonna do that whole 23.
This mom is in serious trouble.
Oh, you don't think? Yeah. She them drugs is crazy. Them drugs is crazy. I'm glad that she dropped those babies off and didn't hurt them though. That's the good thing. She at least had enough sense not to hurt the kids.
Right.
All right, here we got a woman allegedly left daughter in unlocked car to go drinking. Whew. Blame Prince for this rabbit hole. Here we go. Okay. Everybody ready? Play.
Today, accused of leaving her 7-year-old daughter in her car while she went drinking. Police say the little girl was left in the parking lot around midnight. 3 hours later at 3.
Oh, hold on. My bad. I don't want to move on and forget to say this. Cronin says they got 10 charges total. Marcus Banks says big facts. Fathers don't have the income to fight for the children or the family support to take care of the children right away. Yeah, those lawyers for family court are expensive. Angela Ashkin says boys should go to dads at 8. It should be mandated. My grandson is acting out big time because he doesn't get any time to his dad by himself. I agree with you. I definitely agree.
Now, see, my thing with that, my daughter is acting out, and I'm currently fighting for custody of my daughter. I have my court date coming up, I believe, later on this month, as a matter of fact. And yes, that junk is expensive, man. I think I'm about 9 racks in already. But then again, my case has been going on for about 4 years at this point. My daughter's 4 years old, so my case has been going on 4 years now. And she's filed everything under the sun you can imagine that a mother could file on her ex. And every time we go to court, the judge throw it out. She get laughed out the courtroom. Everything. Men, if y'all watching this, fighting for y'all kids, all y'all got to do is show up. And everything will work itself out.
Yeah. Not even just boys. All children need their daddy. That is from KPB 3721.
Absolutely. That nuclear household, bro. Need both parents.
Well, thank y'all for that. I wanted to read that. I didn't want to move on and forget those comments.
This mom is in serious trouble today, accused of leaving her 7-year-old daughter in her car while she went drinking. Police say the little girl was left in the parking lot around midnight. 3 hours later at 3 in the morning, the child got out and went into the bar looking for her mom. It was closing time and the staff called the cops.
We had a little girl come to my establishment looking for her mommy. We don't know where she belongs.
So we've got a little girl inside.
They gave her ice cream until cops arrived just outside Orlando.
Where's your mommy at?
Okay.
You don't know? You said you walked from your car.
Yeah, because I fell asleep and then she hasn't been there ever since. My mom said it wouldn't be long and then she just haven't came back.
As she holds a stranger's hand, she shows police the car and wonders where her mother is.
She can maybe be in any of these buildings. Okay. She walked off to one, but I can't see where because she turned the lights off.
Listen as she describes what her mother is wearing.
She was wearing a long sleeve shirt and then she wore some shorts.
Found her.
And here she is, 35-year-old Veronica Elliott. It was 6:30 a.m. before she appeared out of nowhere in the parking lot. She's barefoot and covered in dirt, and cops say under the influence.
You realize it's 6:30 in the morning, right?
I do now.
And you realize that your daughter, 7?
Yes.
7 years old, has been by herself with us for 4?
No.
For 4 hours?
The officer can't believe it.
What on God's green earth were you doing that your daughter is here by herself at 7 years old, where she's terrified and goes into the bar and asks random bar people to help and call the police?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it.
She was charged with child neglect.
I wouldn't have even
I would
had a
think.
conversation with her. I would have just slapped the cuffs on her and threw her behind in the back of my car.
I think he's trying to elicit a confession out of her. To be honest, I don't think he cared what she had to say. That was sorry. He said, sorry ain't gonna cut it. Shout out Angela Ashkin says I would have loved to have had a dad that loved me. My dad wasn't around. I don't know how important that is. My dad denied me. God doesn't deny me though. Yeah, I went through that same thing with my father. But I mean, he was in and out, but yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. And you're absolutely correct. God doesn't deny you, and so that's the most important thing. Because you can't pick your parents.
Oh man, but if you could.
Yeah. My mom, I love her. I really, really do. My dad, though, he's a trip. My dad used to get money from me. Ain't that a trip?
I'm sorry.
I thank God I had an amazing mother, man. Oh my God, my mom's amazing. My mom like my best friend, but my dad, that's another one right there. Last time we had talked, he got mad because he asked me for some money, and I honestly didn't have none on me, and he got an attitude with me. I was like,
damn, that's kind of wrong.
That's crazy. You never sent us no money or anything. And you show up trying to get money out of me. That was crazy. That was crazy. Shout out Marcus Bay says I totally agree. There was never going to be a conversation, handcuffs, and jail.
I mean, I commend the cop for holding his composure, but man, if that was a female cop, that could have went left very quickly. Like she could have been tased and everything under the sun, and she deserved it. She deserved every electrical bolt.
Yeah, she was out of her mind. I tend to think, I believe, because they said she was covered in dirt, I think she wasn't just drinking. She probably has a drug problem. Most likely she was doing sexual acts for money is what I believe she was doing, to be honest with you.
I believe it too.
Because if it was just drinking, it was a bar. She wasn't at the bar. So she either went to somebody's that live around there for some drugs and a favor or something like that. That's probably what that was.
And I want to commend the child, because the sense that 7-year-old has is just off the charts. For her to actually think like, damn, the moms ain't come back yet. I don't know how long it's been. I went to sleep. Let me go walk up here and see if she in here or something,
Oh yeah, she was smart.
Oh yeah,
very smart. Yeah, you can tell how she was talking. She's very intelligent and smart. So
very, very intelligent. And got a memory like a damn elephant.
She do. This one is woman arrested for leaving kids in car while gambling. So this one here is a gambling.
Oh, this one funny. Yeah, this one funny.
The woman accused of leaving her small children inside a car while she gambled at an East Bay casino. She was in court today. Failing yet is facing child endangerment charges. Tonight, KRON 4's Dan Kerman has details of what happened and what the woman told police.
New revelations about Failing Yet, the Oakland woman accused of leaving her 2- and 3-year-old daughters in a hot car while she went across the street to Livermore's Casino 580 to gamble. Police say they were contacted initially by someone who saw it happen.
And when they realized that she wasn't coming
right back, they called the police.
When police arrived, jackets, blankets, and a car seat were blocking the side and rear windows. Inside, the children were still strapped in their car seats.
One was crying. The windows were partially rolled down.
When police walked in the casino with one of the children, court documents say Niet walked directly past them and made no attempt to contact them.
Yeah.
Later, when confronted by officers, she first said she was only away from the vehicle for 5 minutes and went to the casino to use the bathroom. Later, she recanted, telling police she lost track of time while gambling. In fact, court documents say security video shows she was at several different tables at the casino for more than 25 minutes, and at no point did she enter the bathroom.
She didn't just run into the grocery store and buy a gallon of milk. She was going there for her pleasure and leaving her kids, abandoned in the car.
While before a judge Thursday, the defendant did not enter a plea, but her attorney asked she be released on her own recognizance since she has no criminal history and 2 other high school-age daughters to raise. But due to the seriousness of the crime, her apparent attempts to cover up what she was doing, and the fear that she may not return to court, the judge left bail in place. The defendant remains in the Alameda County Jail in lieu of $100,000 bail. She is due back in court to enter a plea next week. At the Hall of Justice in Pleasanton, Dan Kerman, KRON 4 News.
Now, you know what's ironic about this one? You know what's crazy about this one? In the Clubhouse back channels, I sent you one with a black woman doing the exact same thing, and her last name just so happened to have been Gamble.
Oh no. I think I got it coming up because I clicked. That's how I got to these. That's why I said blame you for the rabbit hole. KP says kids, the kid's smarter and more responsible than the parent. Yep, in a lot of these cases, the kids are far smarter than the parents. But yeah, and I thought that one was crazy because they came in there with her kids, and she just walked past the police officer and her kid like she didn't know what's going on. Can you imagine that? Like she just go walk past us, like that's crazy.
My question is, what other kids were?
Gamble at a South Florida casino.
You say what?
I said, what? What? Oh, God damn! You paused that at a horrible time. My question is, where were her other kids? Because if she has older teenage kids, wouldn't have been. I mean, if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to be irresponsible, just leave the kids by themselves. Couldn't you just been irresponsible and just left them with the older kids?
Most likely, I think that. The only thing I could think of is it was school time, and so those kids were in high school, and she just wanted to gamble during the day. Instead of waiting to later on and just leaving them with their kids, like I said, but it's an addiction, so she's not going to think clearly. She has to go service her addiction whenever it hits her.
Right. But this mug shot though, right here though, I just want to go out on a limb and refer to another video that we did. Remember when I said there's sometimes we just look at somebody and just eliminate the crime out of the picture and just say like, yeah, they'll do something like that.
I'm telling you, KP said I'm looking like Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black.
And for me to know who he talking about. Whatever this news report is about, whatever it is, they did it. That's just know that they did it.
Well, it says they was arrested for leaving kids in the car to gamble, so it's more gambling.
Police arrested sisters Romaine and Mallory Pierre, charging them with child neglect. Police say the women left 4 kids between the ages of 2 and 8 inside a running car while they gambled at the Mardi Gras Casino in Hallandale Beach. The children were not hurt, and they are currently living with their grandmother.
Yep. Grandma got to raise some more kids.
Yep, Catoosa police arrest a Skiatook woman they say left her 16-month-old son alone in a running car for more than
this is 16-month-old
5 hours. Officers say they were called out.
You remember her? This is the one that went viral.
Yeah, I remember her. Lord, that mugshot there. Good God Almighty.
Remember she came running out to the parking lot? They're like, too late for that. I was just about to leave. Nah, you about to leave. You ain't going home. You about to go.
down to the Hard Rock Casino on May 31st and found out Daisy Yeager had left her kid in his car seat with the AC running while she went inside. They say security videos showed Yeager never went back to the vehicle to check on him. Officers arrested her for child neglect.
And that's crazy. She's the only one that left the AC on, and she got arrested.
That is crazy. That's wild.
Okay, here we got another mom. Why? This is the person who put this video out, titled it to this. So this person who put this video out must have seen a bunch of these stories because they titled it "Another Mom, Another Mom leaves 3 kids in the car so she could gamble." I didn't do this, so they've seen a bunch of this. This is obviously something that happens often. Shout out to Marcus Banks says addiction hits women a lot worse than it does man, no matter what it is. I'm telling you, and obviously it does because it's they said another mom. So this person who put this out has seen a lot of these stories. Shout out to Guns and Magnolias. We bashing women today. Sign me up.
We're not the funny thing is we're not the ones doing the bashing. The media doing it for us. We just reporting the news. We're innocent in this.
No, the news is doing it.
Yeah, we're completely innocent. That's the news doing it for us. Hey, stop doing crimes.
We're not doing it. Look, we got homie in here. Angela Ashkins is in here, and earlier we was talking about we've been touching on everything, man. We've been all over the place just doing news stories. I think earlier we touched on the bills that's being passed to keep trans women out of sports with women. So so not bashing, just we're letting the news speak for us.
Yeah.
But these stories are getting very interesting. Let's see.
What?
I'm trying to go get some food. It's money.
I didn't hear anything you just said. What did you say?
I just want to try to get some food. It's money for free food offer.
Say that again?
I just wanted to get my kids some food. It's free food offer.
You went in to get food, but you've got vouchers.
It's mine. It's my fiance's. And I didn't even go over the cameras. I didn't play.
Okay, well, you guys have been here for 20-something minutes.
What do you do?
You got your ID on you?
Okay. Yeah.
Who's your fiance?
Oh, his name's Josh.
Shout out Angela Ashkin says it's truth doing it.
Amen. May the church say amen.
And Guns and Magnolias, big ups. Man, I ain't seen Guns and Magnolias in a while. But you know what? That's my fault because we haven't been on it. Man, the storm, the weather, everything is this year was crazy. The end of the year, I got sick with the weather changing up and stuff. So I haven't really gotten to be on here that much. It's been off and on. So trying to get back to the regular scheduled program. All right, let me play this. I'll be right back.
Josh, what?
Stephanie.
Griffin?
Stephanie.
You guys are all the way from Rushville?
Yeah, I'm really staying over here.
How old are these kids?
7 and 18 months.
What is it?
7 and 18 months.
7 and 18 months? Yes. How many are in here?
3.
Okay, so 7, 18 months, and then
18 months.
They're both 18 months?
Yes.
Okay. Whose car is this?
Mine.
Are you their mother?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
What made you think it was a good idea to leave them in the car?
I don't know. I just wanted to get this food. We're broke. I was hoping we would get food and we'll make money real quick.
What's a good phone number for you? What's that?
Can I please call that guy?
Is that is he inside?
Yeah, I just met him over here.
Huh?
I just met him over here. Yeah.
I thought he was here with you. I mean, I thought you guys came together.
No, I met him over here.
So he's in a different car.
No, he's in the same car. He walked over here.
Okay, so
We just got in a fight last night and we went together last night. We just went back up today.
So you guys came together in this car.
No.
So how did he get here?
He walked.
From where?
I don't know where he's at last night.
So you just met him here.
Yeah.
And you got here about 12:20.
Okay.
And went inside to get them food.
Yeah, but I didn't have any food offers, so I'm not gonna get it.
You didn't have what?
Any food offers, so I couldn't get it.
What do you mean food offers?
They give you free food here.
Oh.
I'm just a part of their club.
Okay. Is he still inside? Okay. Okay. What are the kids' names?
Sorry, stop.
And then what's the next one?
Like. This is really down my luck. I was just trying to get some money as a food for them to play it.
Well, I understand, but you can't leave kids, all of them under the age of 7, in a car by themselves. You know that. You understand that, right?
I mean, there's speed. The car's running. It's not hot.
It's 84 degrees outside.
And the car's running.
What would
The
you
air
do if the car shut off?
When I came right back out as soon as I could. I was about to leave. I couldn't get the food. Where's the line? I came right back out. All right, honest to do.
Check on them. Hang tight for a second.
Nothing else to do?
She says that she met the boyfriend here, or their dad. He's supposedly inside. Can you guys verify that on video? No. Are you with her? Sir. Are you the dad?
Yeah, I'm dad.
Are you the dad?
Yeah, I'm dad.
Okay, come back here for a second. Did you guys come together?
Oh, no.
Okay. When did you get here?
Last night.
Last night?
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
No time, the casino I just got to casino was really good.
Okay.
I've been in and out, running around town all night.
Okay. So then she gets down here about 12:20, I guess, and then comes in to meet you. What were you guys doing?
See if we had free play. See if we had any free play on.
Okay. So you guys were just in there playing casino games.
Yeah. We didn't get to play. We didn't have any free play.
Okay. Did you know that she left the kids in the car?
No, I didn't know she left the kids out here. I didn't know she left the kids out here.
Okay. Did she tell you they were out here?
No, but if I knew they was out here, one of us would have still with them.
Sure. All right. Okay.
But that won't happen anymore.
Do you have your ID on you?
Yeah.
I'm assuming your last name's Griffin. So are you guys?
They both in there gambling, and she met up with him to keep the party going. He knew them kids was out there.
Bro, in situations like this, bro, your parental rights should be taken away immediately. Like, conduct your investigation from the other side of a phone or from the other side of a window. Like, lock them up immediately.
They think they slick. He like, Look how he looking. Oh, I mean, I didn't know. He is incoherent, not because he drunk, not because he high. He's incoherent from gambling. That's how long he been up in there.
That's
That's how
crazy,
long
bro.
he been in there. He been in there so long. He out his mind. Look at him. He high off gambling. He been in there that long, and she shows up probably last minute, bring him some more money or something.
She should have been showing up to bring his behind home.
They gambling. And he probably gamble all the time, so he probably win it, gain it back. He probably can sit in there all day, gain it, get it back, gain it, get it back. You know what I'm saying? Lose it, get some back. Lose, win. And he'll probably do that for hours. Oh yeah, Guns and Magnolia. Shout out to yeah, that snow day was crazy, man. Everybody got snow. It was crazy.
Man, I had to shovel my way out my doggone house.
I got stuck in the snow for 12 hours.
Oh, I know you was heated.
Yeah, I saved myself. I seen everybody's about to slide down the damn hill. I got myself to a level ground, put my tires on the rumble strip, and just went to sleep.
That's all you can do. Being safe.
Yep. Angela Askin says, women's addictions allow their emotions to get the best of them too. Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And Marcus agrees. He says, very true. KP says, selfish ass people. My mom would never. We all have been in going to Chuck E. Cheese, the casino that kid could get in. You correct. I don't know how people just leave their kids out there. It's totally unsafe. I mean, on the news, they're scaring me like every 5 minutes talking about, human trafficking and things of that nature. And so to be so bold as to just leave your kids in the car, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Bro, let me see if I could go off the cuff real quick. And this is off the top of my head. There was a story where a young lady left her child in the car. The child died. She left the child in the car while she went to work. She had another baby, apparently. And she did the exact same thing with the new child, left the child in the car while she went to work. Apparently, whatever type of vehicle she was driving, the car turns itself off. She had the car on. The car turns itself off after a while.
Yep,
And
you're right. Mm-hmm. It did turn itself off.
Yeah, and this child, they were able to save this one. Another one I remember. This lady, she left her kid in the car. Kid died. She was in church. You in the house of the Lord, praising the same person you would sent your child to meet.
Do you think they leave them in the car on purpose? I think sometimes they do it on purpose just to make them go. They don't have the stomach to do it themselves. But I think some of them hope that that will be the end result, right? Because remember, they had a father that did that. You know what I'm saying? Remember that father who was he pretended, okay, so the father, he was dropping the kid off at school. But apparently he didn't, right? So he passed the kid's school, went straight to work, went inside the building. And he says that he came out later on and the kid was in the back seat dead. He said he realized, like, because he said, like, he, just working so hard and tired and rushing to get to work, he completely forgot to leave.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that one.
But remember, they caught him on camera during lunch, coming to his car, grabbing something out his car, and then going back in the building. And so they were like, wait a minute, how did you reach into your car to get something, but then see that kid sitting in the back seat? Came out later on when work was over, and then all of a sudden discovered this kid. And so what they realized is he most likely came out during lunchtime to see if the kid was passed away, and realized the kid wasn't passed away yet. And then so he just went back in the building. But there's no way you went in the car and then see that kid in the car seat.
No way. No way.
Nobody believed him. So it turned out he did it on purpose. But I remember things like this happening and them having to it's just like that other story we did. Remember the father, he rushed home, left the kid in the car, and he went in the house nap or something?
I know of one. You might be speaking of a different one, but I know of one where a guy left his kid in the car after going to get groceries. He bought all the groceries in the house, and he was trying to play a mobile game or something like that on his phone. And
Oh, that's
he
the
went
one.
down. Whatever. Oh, that's same. Yep, same one. Then. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to scare who it is commented, are there lots of people? Are there lots of people like that? I'ma scare you. There's thousands of people like that. It happens every day. It happens so often the news can't even keep up with it. If I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Oh
Let
yeah,
me see
yeah.
if I
They
can
don't
find
put them all out. To find them all, you honestly are going to have to read about them because they don't have the news cover it. You have to when I say the news, I mean like, just like recording it like for YouTube or something like that, like video. But you would have to type it in and just go through the articles. And here's what really will scare you. Type in a name and you'll be surprised how many people with that name did the exact same crime or similar crime. That's what's really scary. You'll type in Thomas Williford kills his wife, and you'll see other Thomas Willifords that killed their wife. They just might be in another state,
right,
or in a different age. That's the other part that's scary of it, is people with the same name doing the same crime,
and
or
also,
similar crime.
and also something to point out as well. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if all y'all noticed or not, but a lot of these news reports that we've played, that Shemela has played, the media talks about the deaths of children in passing. Y'all see how short some of those videos was? 30 seconds, 40 seconds. It's never nothing in depth.
Yep. Never nothing in depth.
But they'll sit there and talk about Trump for 3 hours.
Guns and Magnolia says, come on, man. He had to ask her what the kids was at. He knew them damn kids was in the car. Yeah, he knew it.
Yeah, he knew that. He knew that, man.
He said they down bad for that shit. Marcus Banks says they leave the kids in the car because their mother did that to them. Mm-hmm. Yep, repeating the behavior. Guns and Magnolia says sometimes they got those insurance plans on them kids. Ooh, that's another one. They do.
That's another one. But let me mess your head up now. Let me play devil's advocate now. The ones who kill the ones who do that purposely, killing their children for insurance, that's usually Caucasian women. That's usually Caucasian folk. A lot of our black sisters do not have life insurance on their children. That's not something that's plentiful. They're doing that on purpose.
Yeah, a lot of us don't talk about insurance at all. We don't.
They don't.
We scared to talk about life insurance. Yeah. Marcus Banks says those days are gone when you can leave those kids in the car. Nowadays, there are too many sickos and too many mentally ill people for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I remember that, but and stuff like that. And it was a safer time. And then sometimes you'd be in there with an older cousin and say, you had the windows rolled down, the air on. Yeah, it was different. And I just think people have to change with the times. You can't do what you used to do anymore. You just can't do it. And they're cracking down on people, and it's too many kids being left in the car. And plus, you got to think about it this way. You have people that are trying to get rid of their kids, and how easy is it to get away with murder than to say, oh, I ran in the store and it got too hot and the kid died on accident. So now what they're doing is, look, nobody can do it. And even if you did it on accident or on purpose, you're getting punished and we're going to hold you responsible. Because too many people trying to get over, you just can't trust them no more. Like you said, too many sickos. It just is. Angela Ashkin says, that's what I'm saying. I don't hear about that shit. I know it exists, but I'm not so many. You freaking just blew my mind. Yeah, they out there. Like I said, you're gonna have to type it in and read about it. They're not gonna send a camera crew out to record them. They're just not. And like Prince said, it isn't passing by, and they very rarely come back to cover the story or tell us what happened. Sometimes they totally abandon it and won't even send a journalist to even write another article on it. A lot of these stories are, and this is what a shock too. Remember we did Prince, remember we did the story on the Zulocks? It was the gay couple, the two men, they were they adopted two boys and they were assaulting them and shooting child P-word pornography with them and trying to pimp them out. It was a independent it was a journalist that took it upon themselves to keep up with that story. No other journalist was covering it. It was an Asian lady and she was covering the story just on her own, making sure it stayed in the news, and she was the only one that was covering and keeping up with it. If not for her, it would be not reported past the first initial report. Let's see. KP says, any day of the week you can Google Florida man or Florida woman and find news stories like this every day. You know what's crazy? It's a story in here about a Florida man, and you are 100% correct. It was so many to choose from. Prince was sending me these articles, and it was so many because I typed in like Florida, and that wasn't enough. I had to be more concise and find out the person's name to get the exact story. Angela Ashkin says Gerber life. Yo, Prince, you still there? That's probably
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh no, I couldn't hear you then at first.
Oh yeah, I was actually looking for that stat against the mothers and the fathers for child abuse claims or child neglect claims.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you get it.
Separated?
Yeah.
I thought your phone had went out.
So it's at least you watch the other shit.
Yeah.
I love them all, but
Do you have, are you a legal guardian of the kids?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. But there would be no reason, nothing precluding you from
No.
being in the care and control of the kids.
Never.
Okay. What's a good phone number for you? Hang tight 1 second, okay? So I haven't read
Florida is the mecca of crazy.
Phones come back with anything, but it's being temporary though too.
I think everybody in Florida crazy.
Remember?
What's that?
Get the phone number for that Bella. We'll have to.
So I say we hook it up.
I mean, what was it? 90 degrees outside?
84.
84.
Yeah.
Is it called running or that?
The car's running. Yeah, they're all free. It's running. I mean, regardless, it's still.
No, I know. I just didn't know if it was actually running.
Oh no, it's running. Yeah, it's running. The doors are locked. The gas light's on.
Right.
I mean, it's the oldest one is 7. You got a 7-year-old.
I saw the one. Yeah,
a 7-year-old. 2 18-month-olds. Oh, twins.
Yep, we living in hell. She left the car running, but the gas light was on. What sense that makes?
She's freaking out. My thought process is he says he had no idea the kids were in the car. We can't prove or disprove that, but they both said that he did not come with her. He was apparently here at a hotel and then met her here. She showed up, I guess. I think they said 12:20-ish. Right? So let's say we take her and just do the child endangerment.
Okay.
And then we'll release the kids to him. As far as I'm concerned, he can take the car too. So I say that's how we'll do it.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I agree.
Kylie? Let's talk to you. Hey, Kylie, can we talk to you for a second?
She's sitting in the car. She thinks she's going home. You ain't about to go home. Get him out that car. Shout out, Duck. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What happened? Mom is about to get arrested for leaving her kids in the car so she could go to the casino and gamble.
So we're going to take you down to our office and go over some stuff with you, okay? Do you have any warrants or anything? Nothing at all? Okay. Is there any reason why the dad cannot take care of the kids while you're dealing with us? Okay. Are you going to be cooperative with us? Okay. If you're going to be cooperative with us, then I'm not going to worry about putting handcuffs on you. But if you're going to be uncooperative, then we're going to have to go that way. Okay. Okay. All right. Has this ever happened before? You ever had any open cases through child services or anything? No?
Yeah.
First time this has ever happened. What's your history in Indiana like? No issues? Okay. All right. It's up to you if you're comfortable walking her down with you that, or I can put her in the car and take her down. Walk her down. Okay. You're going to walk with him, and I'll meet you down in our office, okay? And we'll go over everything, okay? So we're taking her down to the office. So she's going to be charged with child endangerment. Do you guys have any open cases in Indiana as far as like child protective services or anything like that? Has this ever happened before? Anything like this ever happened before? Do you have any warrants or anything? Nothing at all. Okay. Good. So obviously we're going to leave you with the kids. I have their basic information. Where do they physically live? Do they live with her?
Yeah.
You'll stay with the kids. Okay. Do you need their they have a first aid person here that can check on them. Do you want to have them?
No.
Are they okay? We just want to make sure that they're okay.
Also, don't forget to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Welcome to Risky Behavior. This is Risky Behavior with the Prince of Petty himself. Please smash the like button. Don't treat us like a side chick. Much appreciation.
My son and my daughter's asleep. No, boy, he's up.
Are they living out of this car?
No.
You okay, buddy?
Talk to him, bud. It's okay. Talk to him.
You all right? We're just checking on you, make sure you're okay. You're okay?
Yeah, we take care.
Let him just look at this one over here just to make sure he's living in mess well. Sir, how are you?
Good seeing you.
You too. So we're going to charge her with child endangerment, and then we're going to leave him. He's dad. We're going to let him stay with the kids. He says he had no idea. They came separate. So he met her down here. She claimed that she went in to try to get some food for them. He said they were in there playing games. So
Yeah, they'll be able to get it.
Kai, do you know what's going on? So the casino is obviously going to do a ban for leaving the kids in the car. Okay. Say that again. So as far as we are concerned, we do have to charge you.
Hey, Shmelly.
I told you.
All right, I'm done with that
boyfriend.
one. She backstage. What's up, man? I mean, you backstage. She got arrested. I said she backstage. I was trying to say two things at the same time.
Nah, you
there
good.
go your girl.
Hey, who that mugshot? Lord Jesus. She got a pig nose. Hey, if you check your back
That's
channel
your boy
on
right there
Clubhouse,
too.
who that?
Yeah. Ain't that the guy you be telling me doing all the news stories?
Oh yeah,
AJ,
yeah.
AFC, yeah. That's what you told me about with
Hey, look, if you go check your back channel, I sent you both of them. I sent you the statistics on child murders and the statistics on child abuse cases.
Okay.
That's about to be a wow moment. Audience, y'all about to have your minds blown on what y'all about to see with this. And it's from a reputable site, too.
Let me see. I think I'm gonna have to the screenshot. See. All right. I'm gonna have to screenshot and get that together. I got some other stuff that I had I emailed to myself too already. But it's basically from Statista.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Outlook. Okay, boom. Email that. All right.
You're doing this
And
live,
the
yeah?
first one you said was number of child fatalities due to abuse or maltreatment in the United States in 2022 by what's that? Perpetrator relationship. So number of child fatalities due to abuse or maltreatment. For the mother, 473 for that year. Two parents of known sex, 363. Father, 226. Mother and non-parent, 161. Relative, 73. Other, 53. Two parents and non-parent was 26. Daycare provider, 21. Father and non-parent was 21. More than one non-parental perpetrator, unmarried parent or parent was 17. One or more parents of unknown sex is 8. Legal guardian is 7. Foster parent is 6. Friend of neighbor is 4. You know, with the stories and things that go on, you would think I would think it would be more for the foster parent with the stories that you hear.
You would think. It's all based on the media, bro.
Marcus Banks says child murders and child abuse is very high. Yes. KP says what statistics y'all pulling? The number of child fatalities due to abuse or maltreatment in the United States, and it's by perpetrator. What am I saying? Perpetrator. I mean,
perpetrator
and relationship. I don't know why I keep saying that wrong. And it's in 2022. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why on earth I was saying that like that.
And I sent you another one. That one was for the fatalities. I sent you another one for the actual just abuse charges, abuse allegations.
Number of child, and I'm gonna pull it up on my email. I just wanted to read it real quick, and then I'm gonna start pulling up when I play this video. And this is the one, the black woman you sent me. Number of child abuse victims in the United States in 2022 by perpetrator relationship. So, number of child abuse victims in the United States in 2022 by perpetrator relationship. I must have been up for a while. Why was I reading that word like that?
Say, bro. I mean, the dyslexia get all of us, bro.
We was up. Well, we was up early this morning. Mother, 191,450. Father, 125,489. Two parents, 98,538. Relative, 29,919. Mother and non-parents, 29,204. Unmarried partner of parent is 19,196,000. Father and non-parent, 5,397. Two parents and non-parent, 4,019. Friend and neighbor is 3,958. More than one non-parental perpetrator is 2,318. Child daycare provider is 2,091. That's just the abuse.
Just the
That's
abuse,
a
and the
lot.
women and the mothers leading them both.
That's a lot.
The mothers lead in murder and abuse. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
KP said they say who perpetrated the crime. Yeah, that's the word, KP, who perpetrated. I don't know why we're reading it like that. I don't know what was going on. I just had one of them moments.
That's why I brought the
Angela,
English language out your fucking bolos.
I know. I don't know why I did that. That's crazy. Angela Ashkin says, "What the heck? No wonder the kids want to be a warrior for any cause." It's a crazy world we living in. Oh man.
Yeah, and to the question being, is there a lot of people like that? As you can see by the numbers, it's tens of thousands. Could be somebody you talking to. Could be somebody in your phone right now. You don't even know it.
I know.
This story is really short, but I did want to tell you guys about it. It's significant. It meant something to me because I just think that I see this happen too often with parents being this neglectful. I just believe that people like this, among many people, whether it be hot or cold outside, don't deserve to have kids if you're going to be this level of dumb, which is another AFC hashtag. Let me give you a disclaimer, and I'll tell you the short story. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So my source this time is LatinTimes.com. LatinTimes.com. That's where I'm getting this article from, so thank you guys. An Ohio woman has been arrested after she allegedly left her 2 young children by themselves in a car as temperatures outside dropped. So it was freezing freaking cold. This woman that you guys see on my screen, her name is Shanasia Gamble. She's 22 years old.
I thought he was going to say
Shanasia, Shaneja. What does Shanasia mean? That name means nothing. That's why she treats her children like nothing, because she ain't got a name that means anything. Anyway, Shanasia was arrested after an off-duty officer working for security staff discovered her 2 young children in a car in a parking lot of Hollywood Casino, Toledo, while temperatures outside dropped to 26 degrees, which is freezing freaking cold. And this is in Ohio. And I hope Ohio, because of this story, gets beat by Notre Dame in college football playoffs, but I digress. The children were found on Sunday. The car had been unlocked and not running when they were located, according to the arrest affidavit obtained by The Mirror, which is a website. They do pretty good articles as well. This officer, while working an off-duty project at the Hollywood Casino, was alerted by security that Gamble, the mother, had left 2 minor children in an unlocked, not running, and unattended vehicle on the 3rd floor of the casino parking lot, according to the affidavit. So don't get mad at me. This is what the affidavit says. At the time of the incident, it was 26 degrees outside. The mother was arrested and charged with the misdemeanor charge of endangering children and creating a substantial risk to their health or safety. She was then booked into the Lucas County Correction Center. Gamble appeared in court on Monday for her arraignment. She pleaded not guilty and was released from custody on her own recognizance, an OR bond. She didn't have to pay no bond. Now, granted, I think this is probably an appropriate case for an OR bond. Ma'am, you just got to not be this damn stupid and don't do this again. I think it's an honest mistake, but I'm glad that the children were not harmed. But she's definitely got to be punished and got to learn her lesson. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. I wonder how many of you guys caught the irony in her last name. Gamble went to go gamble, and she gambled on her kids and left them out in the damn car. Just can't be that level of dumb. Y'all do me a favor, leave a comment in the comment section. You can even email me if you got some more updates if I missed something about this, which I'm sure we didn't. Simple story, but let me let you look at the one news video I found.
Police say 2 children were left alone in a car in the casino parking lot that wasn't running or locked. TPD says 22-year-old Shanasia Gamble of Toledo left the kids in the car in the Hollywood casino parking lot this afternoon. Casino security alerted police. The temperature at the time was 26 degrees. Gamble is charged with child endangerment. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. She's also due to be arraigned tomorrow morning.
Look, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes some of the best things are said in the chat, and I like what you said. Shout out to Sarah Gates. And Sarah Gates said, kids are not crock pots. You can't set them and forget them.
That was perfect. A
Colorado.
That's just insane and crazy. Oh my God. I cannot. That freezing temperature like that is cold. Shout out Angela Ashkin says we need Jesus badly. I absolutely agree. Guns and Magnolia says, brother, for her to have her last name to be Gamble is insane. It is insane. And when he was first saying her name, I thought he was gonna say like Shanae from the Martin show. But her name's Shanasia. 26, that's cold, man. I don't care where you're from. I know some people from up north, Midwest, they used to stuff like, 26, that's cold to leave kids in. That's a death sentence. That is a definitely a death sentence. I'm about to see if I can bring up that statistics. We lost Prince. His phone must have dropped out. Hopefully he will be back. Size extra camera. Let me see if I can okay, so window. And hopefully that is showing clear. That's why one thing about this portrait mode, it's hard to it's hard to show up, but this is the number of child abuse victims in the United States in 2022. At the top is the mother, and that was when I said it's 191,450. Below is the father line, which is 125,489. Below that is 2 parents. So it'd be 2-parent household, 98,538. I'd be glad when they get better options for this portrait mode, so you can zoom in better. This is for a relative, which is 29,919. Mother and 9 parents is 29,204. Unmarried partner of parent is 19,196. Father and 9 parents is 5,397. 2 parents and Two parents and non-parent is 4,019. Friend and neighbor 3,958. More than one non-parental perpetrator is 2,318. Child daycare provider is 2,091. Okay. And let's see where the other one at. And bear with me. I wish it was better options for this, but it's not. Shout out KP says the numbers are legitimately sickening and seriously effed up. They are. They really, really, really are. It's crazy. They should make it where you can zoom in, but you can't zoom in when somebody's live. But if you go back and rewind it on the playback, I know you can zoom in, but not while I'm currently live. So it's like you got to wait till the video uploads. So hopefully it's not blurry and people can see them correctly. This one reads: number of children fatalities due to abuse or maltreatment in the United States in 2022 by perpetrator relationship. So these are the fatalities. The other one was the abuse numbers, so they were higher. And these are the fatalities. Top line is mother is 473. Under that is two parents of known sex is 363. The father, which is 226. Mother and non-parent is 161. Relative, 73. Other, 53. Two parents and non-parent is 26. Child daycare provider is 21. Father and non-parent is 21. More than one non-parental perpetrator, unmarried partner of parent is 17. One or more parents of unknown sex is 8. Legal guardian is 7. Foster parent is 6. Friend or neighbor is 4. Okay. Did I click the right thing? Here we go. Now I'm back to the boom. Yeah, Marcus said this is the very best reason I have seen and heard for sexual protection. Definitely. It's too many children being had, and people are not being responsible. And you're correct. That's the only thing that this could point to is people being irresponsible. You got parents that, and I get it, parents that want to live their life, they can't even secure daycare or someone who can watch their children, so they're leaving their kids in cars to go do things like gamble. I mean, like that's what I was saying before, like what that lady did, that's a death sentence, man. Can you imagine being in a cold car? 26. Well, that's insane to me. That's crazy. Even like the other mom that left her kids in the car was so hot that they said the kids were sitting in the car seat. They had took like blankets and other things and blocked the windows to keep the sun from coming through and hitting them. You know, that's terrible. You can't just be doing that. Angela says it's evil. How to fix it? I don't know. Let's see what KP said. KP says, Angela, I don't know if there's a way to fix it. People are always going to be sick and effed up. And when the abuse starts in the home, I don't know if there's a way to prevent it. I think each of us have to just start with ourselves. I think the biggest thing we can do is not contribute. As they say, don't contribute to the degeneracy. And I think that's the only thing we can do. Like you said, it does start in the home. So you just have to make sure it doesn't start in your home and stuff. And especially if you see something, say something. If you see somebody doing something like this to a child, I've seen where a lot of people see things happen. They don't say anything. If you see something like this happen with a child, say something, nip it in the bud. You know, some people just ignore things.
A woman accused of killing 2 of her children and fleeing to London will have to return to the U.S. Today, a UK judge denied Kimberly Singler's extradition fight. Singler is facing first-degree murder charges, accused of drugging, stabbing, and shooting 2 of her children, as well as attacking a third who survived. NBC News international correspondent Megan Fitzgerald has more on the ruling and what's next in this case.
Good to be with you. Look, it's been more than a year since Kimberly Singler fled the U.S. to the U.K. And this morning, a London High Court judge has ruled that the government can extradite her back to Colorado. However, she has 14 days to appeal that decision, and her attorney says she will. The 36-year-old walked into the courtroom today wearing a bluish green zip-up top with gray pants. She showed no emotion when the verdict was announced, but then she smiled as she left the courtroom and thanked the judge. It was December of 2023 when police made a gruesome discovery in Singler's home, finding the bodies of her 2 young children lying together in bed. A third child was found alive, but with serious injuries to her neck. Days later, Singler escaped to the UK, where she was later arrested. Now, since then, a court in London heard how she allegedly drugged her children, 7 and 9 years old, before fatally shooting and stabbing them. The 11-year-old survived and later told authorities that her mother said it was God who told her to do it. Singler denies the allegations and has been fighting extradition back to the U.S. since. Her attorneys arguing that the crimes she's accused of carrying amount to an automatic sentence of life without parole, which is a breach of the European human rights law, which the UK follows. Now, Singler's attorney says she will be appealing the judge's decision. She has 14 days to file, but there's a good chance this case could drag out for several more months to come. In London, Megan Fitzgerald, NBC News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on.
Singler is facing first-degree murder. Today, a UK judge denied Kimberly Singler's.
And see, that's another problem right there. Is like you can like say that country knows that oh, you trying to extradite her back, but you trying to extradite her to a place where her sentence can be up under a death penalty, right? But let's see. Angela says London news, but not U.S. news. No, it is. They're trying to extradite her from there. She ran over there, but they won't extradite her if they know that you're going to go back and face charges that would give you a death penalty or something that goes against what they is in their law. Then they won't send you back. And so a lot of times they just work out a deal and then they'll send you back.
A Colorado woman accused of killing 2 of her children and fleeing to London will have to.
See, she was in Colorado and she killed her children in Colorado. They know that she killed her children because the oldest one survived. That was 11 years old. So she moved. So they're trying to get them. They're saying like, you need to send her back. And they said, well, no, because you're going to try to give her life without parole automatically. And so we don't agree with that. So we're not going to send her back. And so they'll work out a deal and then she'll be sent back. They'll work out a deal with her, say, okay, like I've seen them do that before where the country will refuse to send you back if your crime comes with the death penalty. And so what the U.S., what they'll do is they'll agree to take the death penalty off the table and then they'll send you back. And so they just gotta go through a lot to get her back. You said, so is the U.S. News talking about it too? Yeah, I mean, this is NBC News. I think that's yeah, this NBC News Daily. I think this is I don't know. I think this is it's got the same symbol as I think NBC is United States based. Or they just cover everybody. I don't know where they based. I thought they was based in the United States. or is it based in London? KP says, can we send people to go get her and just take her into custody? No, not if they holding her. That's why you have to do extradition. You can't do that. That's a like they have agreement, so you can't just go into somebody else's land, even if they're your suspect, your criminal. You have to go in there, announce that you're coming, say, hey, we need this person. They committed a crime, and they're going to ask you, why do you need them? And that's what's happening here. She did the crime in the United States and fled the country, but they won't extradite her back because they don't believe in life without parole, I guess. Yeah. Well, like Angela says, that would be a covert mission. Yeah, I don't think they would do that to London. They would most likely just talk to them and work it out. And that's why she's going to get a deal. And so because she went there, that move of going to London, she's most likely not going to get life without parole, because that will be a part of the agreement of her being extradited back to Colorado to face charges. The same way if she was in a country and they said, well, we don't believe in the death penalty, but y'all have that as a punishment for her crime, the United States, they would have to agree to take death penalty off the table. So they're going to have to take life without parole off the table in order to get her back.
To return to the U.S. Today, a UK judge denied Kimberly Singler's extradition fight. Singler is facing first-degree murder charges, accused of drugging, stabbing, and shooting two of her children, as well as attacking a third who survived. NBC News international correspondent Megan Fitzgerald has more on the ruling and what's next in this case.
Good to be with you. Look, it's been more than a year since Kimberly Singler fled the U.S.
And okay, see, NBC is here, and then this is the international people that work on the international news side of it. For Angela, yeah.
To the UK. And this morning, a London High Court judge has ruled that the government can extradite her back to Colorado. However, she has 14 days to appeal that decision, and her attorney says she will. The 36-year-old walked into the courtroom today wearing a bluish green zip-up top with gray pants. She showed no emotion when the verdict was announced, but then she smiled as she left the courtroom and thanked the judge. It was December of 2023 when police made a gruesome discovery in Singler's home, finding the bodies of her two young children lying together in bed. A third child was found alive, but with serious injuries to her neck. Days later, Singler escaped to the UK, where she was later arrested. Now, since then, a court in London heard how she allegedly drugged her children, 7 and 9 years old, before fatally shooting and stabbing them. The 11-year-old survived and later told authorities that her mother said it was God who told her to do it. Singler denies the allegations and has been fighting extradition back to the U.S. since. Her attorneys arguing that the crimes she's accused of carrying amount to an automatic sentence of life without parole, which is a breach of the European human rights law, which the UK follows. Now, Singler's attorney says she will be appealing the judge's decision. She has 14 days to file, but there's a good chance this case could drag out for several more months to come.
Mm-hmm. Okay, KP says, I thought since we had the extradition treaty, that meant they have to give up our prisoners. Yeah, I guess they do have it, but they have things in place. It's not so cut and dry and simple to say, well, hey, you have to extradite. I don't think it's that simple. That's why I'm saying, like, if they say, oh, it goes against the human rights thing, I think they can kind of fight it a little bit. So that's what I've seen. It's weird like that. I always thought like it was cut and dry, like, oh, you have to extradite them back. And I don't think it works that way. I'll be watching a lot of these true crime things, and every time somebody leaves and runs to another country, it's always this headache. It's always like that. Shout out Angela says, oh, thank you so much. And thank you for the stats. Scary as they are, I do appreciate it. Oh, no problem. No problem. But yeah, Kate, And thank you, Angela, for being here and all the support and having the conversation and talking and stuff. All of you, KP, Guns and Magnolias, Marcus Banks. Hope I don't forget nobody. Duck came through. Trying to make sure I don't forget nobody. Crowing came through. Lewis came through. Michael Jacquees came through. I said Marcus Banks. Yeah, Michael Jacquees. T came through. Very chill guy came through. That was earlier. Yep. My boy S. Johnson had came through. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Oh, Baby Millcat came through. Yep. Yeah, I appreciate you all. Forgive me if I skipped somebody's name. I hope I did. I don't think I did. Yeah, I got Guns and Magnolias. I got KP, Angela, Marcus. Yeah. Oh man, appreciate you. He said, thank you for having me again on the show. Much respect to you both. Oh, thank you. I don't know where Prince at. Prince's phone probably went out. This was just some random show we was doing. It says this one is a mother charged with first-degree murder and death of 11-year-old daughter. What made this one interesting is, according to this article, prior to killing the child, this same mother abused or killed the family pet as a warning to the child, like, you better not act up or this is going to happen to you. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Let me go ahead and play this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Don't forget, smash that like button. Helps with the algorithm, brings more people into the room. I got a little bit while I'm gonna be in here. I got a couple more videos to play.
A Baltimore County mother is facing charges in connection with the killing of her 11-year-old daughter. According to police, 34-year-old Kiana Dillon is charged with first-degree murder.
Tonight, Fox 45 News is delving into the charging documents as disturbing details are coming to light. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kai Jackson.
And I'm Mary Bubala. Let's go straight to Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor. She joins us live after the suspect's first court appearance today as her family is speaking out. Rebecca.
Yeah, Mary and Kai, I spoke with family members off camera today. They tell me that the mother in this case, that she was in the midst of a psychotic break, and today in court, a judge did order that her mental health be evaluated. Now, as you said, again, the details of this incident, they are disturbing, but the family also adds, so were the warnings and calls for help that they believe went ignored.
Just a few months ago, captured on a relative's cell phone during their family's Thanksgiving celebration. 11-year-old London Wilson, dancing, laughing, and full of life. The once carefree moment, now a heart-wrenching memory.
The child should be in the basement.
Thursday, police responding to reports of a child in cardiac arrest. When they arrived at the family's Middle River home, London was found dead in the basement.
Not conscious, not breathing.
The girl's mother, 34-year-old Kiana Dillon, now charged with her murder. According to charging documents, investigators finding bruises on London's neck and arms, as well as blood around her mouth, nose, and hands. They also found a plastic drain cleaner on the floor that they believe Dillon used to strangle her daughter. When interviewing Dillon, detectives claim she was acting erratically and said groups of people were trying to set her up. She also believed London was in a relationship with the child's father and admitting to killing 4 of the family's pets to show her daughter what would happen to her if she didn't tell the truth. During Dillon's bail review hearing, the erratic behavior continuing. She demanded to represent herself in court and shouted
Told you.
to her if she didn't tell the truth.
See?
Relationship with the child's father and admitting to killing 4 of the family's pets to show her daughter what would happen to her if she didn't tell the truth.
That's the part I was talking about. She would kill a family pet as like, you want this to happen? You see what I'm saying? Like, that insane to me. It was in the title of the article that I read, which made me look up this video on YouTube.
During Dillon's bail review hearing, the erratic behavior continuing. She demanded to represent herself in court and shouted fictitious law numbers at the judge. After denying bail, the judge appointing Dillon a public attorney and ordering a competency evaluation. Behind the scenes, the victim's aunt speaking out on social media, saying in the days leading up to the incident, Dillon exhibited alarming behavior, such as sharing disoriented and concerning messages on Facebook. The aunt claiming she made numerous calls to local agencies, but was repeatedly rerouted. Maryland's Department of Human Services claiming privacy laws prevent them from commenting on the case, while police claim they never received any calls. However, Dillon's criminal history is extensive. In 2005, when she was just 15 years old, she was convicted of attempted murder. In 2018, convicted of second-degree assault. And in 2021, accused of harassment and threatening to commit arson. The accuser writing in their complaint, Dillon has a very violent past and is still violent. She is a threat to society and a threat to me, my children, and grandchild. Dillon never showing in court, sparking a warrant for her arrest in 2022. Years later, Baltimore County Police never serving it. A police spokesperson claiming no fixed address and a misspelling of the defendant's name delayed the process. Fox 45 following up, asking if 2 years is an acceptable delay, and the police believe they could have done more to protect this child. Those questions going ignored.
Now, another piece to this puzzle this evening. Family members, they tell me that London was missing from school for quite some time. Additionally, sources tell us that London and her mother, they were both seen at the ER at the University of Maryland Hospital this week. However, despite concerns being raised from nurses and doctors, I'm told security did not detain them. Baltimore County Schools and the hospital both saying tonight that they can't comment on this case due to HIPAA laws. Meanwhile, tonight, the state medical examiner has done an autopsy and they've determined that London's death is indeed a homicide. Reporting live in Baltimore County, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another.
That is sad, 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 sad.
Country.
Sad. That's terrible, man. Oh my God. And the family saw it happen. They saw her unraveling. She was unraveling. She had the violent history, attempted murder, and assault on 2 separate occasions. She was killing the family pets. KPB says this broad was on meth or clinically insane. I am inclined to believe that. That's crazy. When I saw the title of that video, the article, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, that's insane to me. 4 family pets as a way to deter your child from not listening to you is crazy. This next news story coming up is a pregnant woman who was stabbed 14 times over pizza delivery tip. And I'm pretty sure if you on social media, you've seen a lot of crazy stories. People flipping out when they are not tipped properly.
We're going to start you off in Florida,
or the way they want to be tipped. Who said that earlier? This is a Florida story. Was that KP? I think that was you that said that earlier about the Florida stories. Or was it Guns and Magnolias? It was one of y'all. I think it was. Well, I know Guns and Magnolias definitely said something about Florida. I think KP said it too, because I said I typed in Florida something and I got all of these crazy stories that popped up. Okay, and KP said, yeah, that was me. Yep, okay.
Osceola County Sheriff's deputies arrested Brianna Alvello, this lady, outside of a pizza shop where she was working a week ago. So Alvello received a $2 tip for a pizza delivery. And after that, police say she brought an unidentified male with her back to the motel where she delivered the pizza. Police say that she stabbed the pregnant woman who gave her the $2 tip multiple times and destroyed property in the room. Now, Ms. Alvello is charged with attempted murder, home invasion with a firearm. The male subject is said to have had a gun. She's accused of kidnapping and aggravated assault. The victim stabbed 14 times. Her male friend is still at large this morning. Deputies are looking for him. And so while she's behind bars, and that's probably where she's going to stay if what police say happened is true, what's going to happen with him? Are police going to catch him? And what can he possibly add to this investigation? Let's bring in our guest. Still with me, Lieutenant Mike Gould and Attorney Franz Borghardt. Okay, Lieutenant Gould, let's talk about the male subject at large this morning. Your thoughts, please.
Yeah, so he will obviously be apprehended. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But what jumped out at me at this, Julie, is there's something beyond that. I mean, it's inexplicable that somebody would stab somebody for $2. I think the intentions were robbery, meaning when she delivered the pizza, certainly there was a dispute. She was offended by the $2 tip. She left, got an accomplice, and there was something going on in that room, whether it was property, there was something. It will be revealed that it's something more than just a $2 tip. This was clearly premeditated. She left, she got an accomplice and came back. It's, look, stranger things have happened, but I think we're going to come, as this investigation unfolds, they were looking to rob other property beyond the $2. It might have been triggered by the bad tip, but I don't think this is the end of that story.
That is such excellent insight, Lieutenant. And let's take a step further with your theory that this was an intent to do a robbery, not intent to do an attempted murder, just for the sake of our analysis here. Franz Borghardt, criminal defense attorney that you are, might that be a helpful defense for this lady?
Oh, I don't think so at all. I mean, I would love the idea of saying, hey, this was a robbery gone wrong, but any way you slice it, it's bad, right? Either she went over there to inflict harm on this woman, her unborn child, and potentially a little child, I think a 5-year-old, because of a bad tip. And so the record's clear. Not being a good tipper is not a capital offense. Thank goodness she survived. And I agree, I think it was more a financial robbery crime. Or alternatively, if it was in fact a robbery, that doesn't make it better either, because then you have some kind of theory of attempted felony murder because you were trying to rob someone and then you stabbed them 14 times. I think all roads ultimately lead to this being a tremendously terrible crime. Now, her saving grace may actually be cooperating against the unarrested male suspect. And if I'm representing her, that might be the lifeboat for her. She's in the boat she's in. She's looking at a significant jail time. But maybe, just maybe, if the police don't know who this suspect is, maybe there's an opportunity there for her.
Oh, great insight from you as well, Franz. Thank you for that. I know we all agree this is just horrific what happened. And miraculously, the pregnant woman survived. She went through multiple surgeries. She is going to live, from what we understand that's been reported. It was a pocket knife, apparently, that this pizza delivery driver, deputies say, brought to this event, but the male subject brought a firearm. Lieutenant Gould, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I agree with Franz. So this is bad. No matter how you cut the dice, whatever your defense is going to be, it's a felony assault, without a doubt, an attempted murder. It's just what struck me was the fact that they kind of wanted to when the aggressors came, they wanted to shuffle people off, the occupants of the hotel room, into a bathroom. So that adds just an element to me of why. If it was just this violent act coming in and getting retribution, pure retribution, you wouldn't shuffle. Again, these are the news stories that I read. They shuffled them off into the bathroom so they could search this hotel room. So yeah, I think the fact nothing good about it is going to come. I mean, I think like Franz said, they'll flip the boyfriend or the accomplice. and they'll work against each other, and that's how this is all going to unfold eventually.
Exactly. I think that's a great prediction. We'll keep our eyes on this story, and of course, our heart goes out to that victim as she continues.
In Virginia, a nurse.
Oh man, I hit the wrong button.
Country. We're going to start you off in Florida, where
That's insane.
In
It have to be
Virginia,
more
a
than that. And I know it's like, oh, she survived, but I have a friend that got stabbed before, and she got stabbed in her leg. After that, you can still after that, you can still suffer from blood clots. It depends on where that person stabbed you at, how deep it is. You still are going to have complications after being stabbed, depending upon where that person stabbed you at. After she got stabbed in her leg, she still had complications. At any point in time, she could suffer a blood clot, whatever, after that. So you can survive a stabbing, but 14 times, you still got to be careful after that. You could still die from complications later on with a stabbing. Let's see. KP says any day of the week you can search Florida, man or woman. Yep, that's what we was talking about earlier. And yep, and then Guns and Magnolias came after that and was like, yeah, there's a bunch of crazy people in Florida. And find crazy stories. KPB says I got stabbed in the hand. Shit sucks. Yeah, I have not been. Oh man, I haven't been stabbed before. The only time I got close to that is some glass broke and fell into my leg. Or whatnot. Didn't go too deep and stuff, left a little scar or whatnot. But yeah, man, stabbing ain't no joke. When people say, well, oh, you survived, but you still can have complications and be pretty jacked up afterwards. So it ain't no easy journey after that necessarily. Just all depends on where you got stabbed. Oh, excuse me. I had burped. Excuse me.
Nurse sits behind bars after, in some instances, newborn Black babies were found with serious injuries, broken bones. Enrico, Dr.
Yep, and this Virginia nurse arrested after Black NICU babies are injured.
This hospital says staff found 3 babies with, quote, unexplainable fractures. 26-year-old Aaron Strotman is charged with malicious wounding and felony child abuse. My next guest is Dr. Dalashah Lee from Archpoint Pain Institute. He says these allegations are true. If true, she should have not been allowed to work after she was suspended the first time and they brought her back.
First of all, your thoughts on this case and just how horrible it is that a nurse, someone in your profession, would harm a child like that, a newborn.
Yeah, Isaiah, very disturbing news indeed. Our first, the oath that we take is do no harm, right? And so when I hear of stories like this is a truly disrupting and really sad, shocking news that I hear from somebody who we would help, or we would hope is helping the child, somebody who's in the NICU where they're sick, they've got other things going on. The last thing you want to worry about is your nurse, somebody who you trust, doing harm to a child. And so I am very saddened to hear this news. And I hope that this person is not able to practice medicine if this is truly, in fact, this person was causing harm to innocent children and babies.
Now, we know she was accused initially by the hospital internally when they said she may have harmed 3 other children, but then a year passed by, she was suspended, a year passed by, and they brought her back. Was that a mistake?
It was, Isaiah. I mean, as long as you have somebody who has potentially caused harm, this should have raised some flags for the hospital. They should have taken more initiatives and perhaps not brought this person back. She was on administrative leave for 1 year. She was paid supposedly around for all this time as well that she was gone. And then the hospital did its job of checking to see if there was something. I just don't think they did enough. I don't think they did enough investigation. I know that hospitals have ethical boards and committees. Sometimes, you know, when these sorts of bigger allegations happen, it's the hospital's responsibility to make sure that they either have a third party, somebody else that's reviewing this to make sure that everything is checked off and there was no malicious harm that was involved in this.
From your research, what exactly did she do to some of the children?
From what I could see and from some of the x-rays of these children that were obtained, what I saw was she was not handling them in the right way and maybe being too rough with them, or maybe pulling on a leg or something that causes either a dislocation or a fracture or something. So, you know, again, we don't have any strong evidence, and these are all accusations and allegations that we have so far, but I think it's the hospitals and even the now federal government's job to really research this and make sure that this person does not practice and does not harm anybody else if this was truly, in fact, the case.
And I want to make it clear what prosecutors are saying. You're saying that she may have handled them roughly. They said she maliciously, meaning she intended to wound, harm a child with felony child abuse and neglect in connection with an incident that took place in November 2024. And of course, now there are possibly 7 other children. So the prosecutors there in Virginia are not saying she handled them rough. They're saying she maliciously, with intent, tried to harm these children. And parents are just upset. And some of those parents said the hospital system failed them. Would you agree with that?
I would, Isaiah. I think that unless we have other third parties and other people that have investigated this telling us, yes, this person is safe and there was no malicious harm that was involved in this on purpose, you know, if they cannot prove that, then this person should not have been allowed back into the hospital setting.
Oh my gosh. You can see just from talking to this guy, man, those hospital people, they always trying to cover their tail, man. Every time. That's why old boy had to correct him and say, wait a minute. They said she did this on purpose. Don't say that you read some report saying, well, she might have did it. She might have pulled a little. No, she broke the baby bone. Get out of here. Have you ever seen them pull a baby out of a woman? They yank the baby up out of there. Come on. Babies they tough and not tough at the same time. So don't sit here and make up a lie and try to cover, because he's still, it's kind of like what they say about police officers. They're still going to be careful with the words they use when talking about each other, because they all up under that same uniform. And you'll see the same thing with some people when it comes to the medical field. You'll see that same kind of talk and that same kind of language. I say that because I've covered other stories with other nurses and doctors doing things, and people are still very careful because it's that community, speaking out of turn, speaking out of line, saying the wrong thing, could offend somebody, may hurt you when it comes to how you want to move around and advancing in your career. And I can see this guy that he's talking to, he's holding back a little bit with his words. He's being very careful. They have so many cases like that. I've seen nurses. I've seen one where they had a nurse. She was like, she would be considered a serial killer. She was killing children, like injected them with, she would like come in and inject them, and then the next day it would look like the baby had like a breathing problem. It was something she was doing that was affecting the child to make like they had a breathing problem and stuff and was killing them. You have nurses kind of like what they're accusing this nurse of, because she hasn't been convicted yet. So we got to say allegedly, I guess. But they've had other cases of nurses who were convicted where they would just, come in there and snap the baby's bones, break their arm, and do little things like that. And, you got this newborn baby. You're wondering, why is this child crying like this? And then come to find out, somebody broke the child's arm. It was a baby. So yeah, man. That's people. Trying to think.
Somebody
Okay,
needs
that one. That's the same video. I did 2 of them.
And developing tonight, we now know the identity of the woman who was burned to death on the subway earlier this month. Fox 5's Jessica Formoso joins us live from Toms River, New Jersey, where police say she once lived. Jess.
Natasha, that's right. The victim, 57-year-old Debrina Kwam. Police tell us that it was here in Toms River where she last lived in this senior living community. Now, as expected, neighbors shocked to hear that she was the victim of that senseless act of violence. The homeless woman who was burned alive in a subway car in Coney Island last Sunday morning. Now, we knocked on a door and a woman answered. She told us that she bought this home in April, and in May, she says a woman by the name of Debrina rang her doorbell looking for her mother. She told her she was the new owner, but she could take down her information. The woman, Debrina, she says, told her that she didn't have a phone. It was about a 15-minute conversation, and then she says she hopped back in the cab and left. You're about to hear from her and also a neighbor who did not want her face on TV.
She looked clean. She did not look sick or hungry or anything like that. She just stopped by. All in my mind was family didn't tell her that that they were moving. Very devastating that something like that would happen. But even more that this is happening today, you know.
If that was that woman, I can't understand how she ended up in the subway in the circumstances she was in.
Now, police arresting 33-year-old Sebastian Zapeta, migrant from Guatemala, who entered the country illegally in 2018. They say he allegedly lit Kwam's clothes on fire. Police believed she was homeless and sleeping on the subway when she was set on fire. Zapeta has been charged with first-degree murder. It took some time, however, to identify the victim, and that's because her body was burned beyond recognition. They had to use fingerprinting and dental records, as well as DNA testing. Now, Olga, the woman we spoke to, tell us that when she found out the name through the media, she knew right away that there was a connection. She remembered that last name from the documents when closing on her home. Of course, she is shocked and cannot believe that woman, that victim, was standing in front of her back in May. That's the latest we have from Toms River. I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
Oh my God. That's sad. That's sad. This is a warning. They blurred it. I guess I can show it. The New York Post posted this video, so I guess it's safe to play on YouTube. And so I'm guessing this is the same lady.
Yo, sorry to his family.
So it says suspect who allegedly lit a sleeping woman on fire sat and watches his victim burn.
This is a person right here.
If you look to the left corner, it's somebody just sitting there. The left corner, that's a head. Somebody just sitting there watching somebody burn on the train.
Oh,
you got the police just walk by. Some people say the police officer casually just walks by. I don't know if they had fire extinguishers or anything like that available. What that cop was thinking. Somebody just sitting on the bench.
bro. Yo.
And then the person stands up
Oh no.
and stuff. I don't know. You know, people were talking about the guy that was filming and how he was acting. You know, I don't think he was being funny. I think that sounded like a little bit of shock to me. Like you're standing there in awe and in shock, like you can't really believe what you're seeing. But it didn't sound like he was making fun. He's like, yo, like he shocked, crazed. And at that point in time, I didn't hear any screaming. Even though they had it blurred, you know, you hear his voice, you don't hear anybody screaming. When people are looking at that video, I don't know if that was anything anyone could do at that time. That might have been the end of it, where there's like nothing you can do at this point. The person is most likely passed away in shock. I mean, because you would expect to see somebody kicking, running, moving, yelling, screaming or something, but the fact that you didn't hear or see any movement, at that time, I think that was the tail end of it, and that's probably why the officer walked by like that. It's probably why that guy was like, "It's probably was nothing to be done at the time." I don't think he was
Yo,
trying to.
sorry to his family. This is a person right here. Oh,
See, he sounds shocked and crazy. People were trying to say like, "Oh, he was just filming like it was funny." I don't think he was. I think he was shocked.
oh, bro. Yo. Oh.
And maybe you see a little bit of movement there. I don't know. That's just crazy, scary to me. I don't think I could even just.
Gruesome and deadly attack on the subway. Police have a person of interest in custody after someone set a woman on fire on an F train, killing her.
Police say the killer walked up to the victim and lit her clothes on fire. By the time officers got to the woman, she was fully engulfed in flame.
This is one of several violent attacks in the subway system this weekend. One person was killed. Another was injured in a stabbing incident on a 7 train during an apparent robbery gone bad in Woodside, Queens. And yesterday, 2 people shot on a subway platform in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn.
The subway violence comes during a time authorities are trying to assure New Yorkers about the safety of mass transit ahead of congestion pricing next month and a probable fare hike this summer. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon.
The NYPD tonight is calling cameras now in every subway car a game changer. MTA video taken in an F train at Stillwell Avenue captured the terrifying crime this morning.
It offered detectives immediately answers.
Ciao. Test the spirits if they are of Yah. We say ciao. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming by. And I apologize to some of y'all. I mean, I know some of these news stories are very sad and stuff. I don't know. I try. I guess I do them because sometimes people don't cover certain stories, especially stories that are dealing with children. A lot of times they get swept under the rug, and so it's just bring shed light on them and stuff, and just try to get an idea of what may be going on around you, and stuff.
To questions that they had, what happened?
Officers had seen and smelled smoke and came running over.
What they saw was a person standing inside the train car, fully engulfed in flames.
They got the flames out with a fire extinguisher, but the woman died at the scene. The video also offered clear pictures of the man who had used a lighter to set fire to her clothes while she may have been sleeping and stayed and watched.
We asked the media to broadcast those images far and wide so we could use the viewing public as a force multiplier. And New Yorkers came through again.
A group of high school students spotted the man in the photo on another train and called 911.
Our transit sergeant responded to that location, met with these young high school students, looked inside the train and saw an individual that he recognized from wanted flyers that we got out earlier.
The suspect.
And see, that's a good thing. Them teenagers stay on their phone, right? Can't complain about the kids having the phone in their hand now because this led to them catching the person. The fact that they on their phone and they was paying attention, and also people pulling out their phone recording everything would lead to things like this. I thought the lady was laying down, but they said she was just standing there. I don't know. They say your body goes into shock when things like that happen and stuff. So I just wonder. It's just sad, man. I don't know why somebody would do that to somebody. It's like I don't know. That's just weird to me. I don't understand the thoughts that go through like somebody in their brain that says, well, hey, I want to set this person on fire. That's just a sad thing to do to somebody.
Suspect was taken into custody. Police say he's a citizen of Guatemala in New York since 2018. Tonight, the governor praised the quick arrest, but her tweets today about additional cameras, officers, and National Guard members helping bring subway crime down have been met with concerns about fare hikes and the congestion pricing toll meant to make the subway more appealing on an especially violent weekend. Overnight, a man was stabbed to death in what police think was a robbery attempt on a 7 train in Woodside. And yesterday, panicked subway riders ran from gunfire at a Q train station in Sheepshead Bay, where 2 people survived being shot, and the search continues for the shooter. The subway cameras in Coney Island this morning and the presence of officers in transit played critical roles in that quick apprehension, but still couldn't stop a man from killing a woman on the subway for no apparent reason. That woman still hasn't been identified tonight. She was burned beyond recognition. Outside police headquarters in Lower Manhattan, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
This next story is hard to accept. Really, what has happened to this poor woman. The Harnett County Sheriff's Office is looking now for suspects, still looking for them after they say someone doused a woman in gasoline and set her on fire. This happened about a week ago. It was on Highway 27 in Harnett County. And only on WRAL, Gilbert Bays talked with the victim's mother, who is watching her daughter right now fight for her life.
And this one was posted 1 month ago.
Well, this happened on December 16th along Highway 27. The Harnett County Sheriff's Office is looking for suspects, and the mother of this child can't believe this has happened.
Why could you do this to my baby? You didn't have to do this to her.
Tanisha Davis is talking about her 20-year-old daughter, Ashante Downing. Davis says her daughter told authorities that she was walking along Highway 27, headed for the Dollar General in Sanford, when something unbelievable happened.
We were told that she was leaving a grocery store and an unidentified male came up to her and doused gasoline on her and lit a cigarette and flicked it on her.
Her mother says she was taken to a local hospital in Sanford, then transferred to a burn center in Chapel Hill with third-degree burns over 70% of her body.
It's just a nightmare for this family.
Harnett County Sheriff Wayne Coates says this is one of the most heinous crimes his department has investigated.
It could have been a domestic related. It could have been a gang initiation. It's got us caught and we're mystified by what's happened.
While the sheriff searches for suspects and a motive, Downey's mother is looking for justice and praying for her daughter's recovery.
You heard it. Please, someone tell the truth. You saw it.
This is an ongoing investigation. Harnett County Sheriff Wayne Coates says anyone with information that happened on that day is asked to give them a call. In Harnett County, Gilbert Bays, WRAL News.
I just hope that young lady would be okay.
The investigation to this case.
She got a whole life ahead of her, man. You know, somebody would just pull over and do something like this to her. It's just unthinkable. It's sad. Oh my God. And fire is one of them things. Don't nobody want to drown and don't nobody want to be set on fire. And to have that much hatred in your heart to do that to somebody, that is insane. That's just crazy.
It started back in June of last year, and now 7 months later, the Sacramento Police Department announcing the arrest of a 30-year-old woman in connection to severe burn injuries of a child. Now, we do want to warn you that some of the images that you're about to see may be hard to watch.
And this one is from 4 days ago.
This is now 3-year-old Princess. About 7 months into her recovery from these severe burn injuries.
I'm just fortunate enough that my child made it back home to me, because it could have been a whole nother story.
Some of the injuries included a burn on the back of her neck, on her foot, and a black eye.
My perspective from June till now, I would have never imagined that the progress that she would have made, like physically, because she's looking a lot better, in my opinion.
Her mother, Alexis Simmons, says it happened at a home daycare facility she had been taking her daughter to for several months, a case Sacramento police detectives have continuously investigated.
The police department did not give up on that child, didn't give up on the mom.
Arresting 30-year-old Christasia, who is listed under two last names in the Sacramento County court system, Gamble and Chan.
Now, this case was a challenging case because you're talking about really kind of a whodunit. You had one party that said didn't happen here. You had another party that said, well, definitely didn't happen here. And this is a testament to that hard work that our detectives displayed to get to the conclusion that we've reached.
I just feel more so like a sense of like a little bit of weight off my shoulders now that an arrest has finally been made, but I still am still waiting for justice because a conviction hasn't been made.
Simmons says she still has several questions, including how the injuries even happened in the first place.
I'm still like in the dark about it.
Hoping those responsible are held accountable.
I look at my baby and every day I see the scar because I have to, still do wound care. So it's like it's a constant reminder. So it's kind of hard to forgive somebody when you still see something that reminds you of what they did to you. Justice would be jail time.
Christasia was arraigned on January 16th, and she is expected to be back in court on February 25th. She's facing a child endangerment felony charge, and at this time, it's unknown if more charges could be added as this case now heads over to the district attorney's office. Now, Sacramento police could not confirm if she was the owner of the at-home daycare facility. In Sacramento, covering local news that matters, Kimberly Cruz, Fox 40 News.
Family of both Taylon Mosley and Passion.
And that's crazy because how do they not know? So she's dropping her baby off to a daycare and nobody really knows who the owner of it is. And I know daycare is very expensive, right? So I'm pretty sure it was one of those situations where, hey, this person had an at-home daycare. It's probably more affordable for her as a mom to go. But I'm just trying to figure out, how is this person allowed to say, well, it wasn't me? But it's kind of like, but you have a mom saying, well, no, I dropped the kid off to y'all. Like, what are you talking about? I hope they figure that out. That's sad what they did to that young lady. That would have to be done on purpose. That was crazy. She burnt all of that baby's head, man. That poor little girl. That somebody had to do that to her on purpose. What kind of mistake would that be? Oh, KP, if you still in here, this is the story I was talking about when I typed in Florida. Man, I got like all these crazy stories. This is the one I was talking about, KP. Shout out Tyreek says, ain't no way I would have been in jail that day about my baby or any baby in my family. Hey, that's what I'm saying. My child better be the way my child is. That's why I'm confused about the story, because I'm like, the mom pulls up and picks her child up like that. I know I would have hit the roof. I would have flipped out. It's no way. I would have immediately called 911 and the ambulance, for real. And while they on the way, I would have been turning up in there. That had to be on purpose. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to look more into that case later on to get the full story, because I got to find out what happened. Did she meet her child up at the hospital, or did she pick her child up like that? Because ain't no way that would have been a fight right there.
And Jeffrey are grieving tonight after Taylon was found dead.
There's my condolences going out to the family and to his loved ones. We are sorry that it had to end this way.
St. Pete Police Chief Anthony Holloway said detectives saw an alligator with an object in its mouth at Del Holmes Park. That's across town from the apartment where Jeffrey was stabbed to death.
They fired one round to the alligator. The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylon's body intact.
Taylon's father, Thomas Mosley, is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for both Taylon and Passion's deaths.
We didn't want to find him this way, but at least we can bring some closure to that family now.
Earlier today, that family spoke about mother and son.
He's always calling his mom on his cell phone.
Yep, always.
He misses mom. They call each other all the time. She really loved Taylor.
Police don't know how Taylor got to the lake or the cause of death for the toddler.
We just want to say that Taylor is a beautiful little boy, and he's really loving and caring.
According to Chief Holloway, Thomas Mosley is still in the hospital. Police said Wednesday, the last time Passion and Taylor were seen alive, was Mosley's 21st birthday.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking.
And right now,
That crazy. Somebody done stabbed them, done killed the mom, and then done took the baby and threw the baby to the alligator. That's crazy. They saying the father did it, allegedly. I don't think he's been convicted yet, but they saying allegedly, they saying that the father is the one that did it, is what they were saying in the title. So that'd be another one that I'll revisit to get the whole storyline. That'll be when I come back to and do an hour story on to get the full story. This next one is one that I looked up. I don't even know if Lewis is still in here. Lewis, are you still in the building? I looked up the story you told me about with the teenagers. Lewis Ochoa. You said it happened in New Mexico. I looked it up. I hope I got the right story. I looked it up, said I would play it. This will probably be the last one that I play. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think. Yep, I don't have another one. This will be the last one. And stuff. I've been on here for some hours. Oh my gosh. I gotta wash clothes. Well, I gotta dry clothes and fold clothes. I hate folding clothes.
round 6, the lives of not 1, but 8 local teens forever changed in just minutes. One of them is dead. 7 are now in custody for a very violent attempted armed robbery. And listen, we hear it too. The broken record, more teens committing violent crimes.
And the governor's office hears it as well. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham held a public safety roundtable earlier this week to talk about that very subject of juvenile crime.
And it turns out it's been on their radar for years, but for the last 8 months, they say they've wanted to track data and trends.
Our Felice Romero joins us now. So Felice, we're talking about a group of teens who allegedly targeted a couple at a local apartment complex.
Yeah, Trevor, Tessa, this started when 14-year-old named Alonso Sanderson and his 15-year-old friend Jariah Salas were in a car with a group of teens and decided to rob a couple in a Jeep. Now, this is really troubling because the whole thing was a large group of teens ranging from 12 to 17 years old. They were armed and scouting for people to rob. Lawmakers say when you're talking about teen gun violence, it's all about the balance between accountability and rehabilitation.
It was this apartment complex police say Alonso Sanderson and Jariah Salas allegedly decided to try and rob a couple in a blue Jeep. Court records show Sanderson pulled up on the passenger side armed with 2 guns, and Salas opened the rear passenger door with another gun.
They actually shoot guns into a car. 3 bullets go into the passenger of that car. The 14-year-old's dead because the driver of that vehicle shot back and shot and killed that 14-year-old.
Oh, man.
This is too much. Enough is enough.
Police say the driver was trying to protect his wife when he fired his gun, killing 14-year-old Sanderson. He was able to get his wife to the hospital where she was treated for 2 gunshot wounds. All 7 teens are now in custody. Bernalillo County District Attorney Sam Bregman says for some, it wasn't their first run-in with the law.
This is exactly the kind of situation. 4 of these 8 kids have criminal history, and they've already been in the criminal justice system. One of them as young as 10 years old.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham says the age of these offenders adds another layer to this complex issue, finding the balance between consequences and rehabilitation.
No detention means we have more juvenile crime. Now we have life in prison when they're 18.
Too many consequences, no restoration means that we're creating more criminal behaviors in that soon to be released adult.
Now, when it comes to this case, APD is investigating the death as a justifiable homicide since the husband of the victim was defending his wife and himself during the attempted armed robbery. Tessa.
And there you have it. Tyreek, exactly what I was thinking. These kids think that Grand Theft Auto is a real thing. These are just young kids. I don't know if they're bored. They really thought this was a really good idea. They thought it was real. I remember being young. You are so disconnected from reality. It's ridiculous. And to think that now it's a 14-year-old that's died. I mean, you probably got a husband that is, because here's the thing, if you really are defending yourself, yes, somebody's trying to do something bad to you, but you still I would think that you still have it in the back of your mind that, like, wow, I had to kill someone, and this person was 14 years old. This person was a kid. And I'm pretty sure most people, you did what you had to do, but even that's going to sit with that person. And I know some people think, oh, you just take somebody out and think nothing of it. And that's just not the case. You could talk to people that have had to be in that position, and they'll tell you that no, I did what I had to do, but it still bothers you that you would have to do that, And but shouts out to that lady at the end. She was correct. Not enough discipline, they're wild and crazy. Too much, and how do you rehabilitate them and stop it? And that guy said one of the kids was like 10 years old. And they out there like that. They out there like super early, super young. That's crazy. That many kids, 8 of them, going to go do an armed robbery. Clearly not well thought out. How would you even know who those people had money? You're pulling up on them, and you just shoot somebody's wife, and then the guy's got to shoot back. And I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I'm not that well versed in the juvenile system to know what it takes to rehabilitate a kid. I know it can be done, but I'm not sure of their programs that they have to say what would need to be fixed. Hopefully someone who knows what they're doing gets in there so that children can be rehabilitated and they can have something that can distract them from going around doing these things and robbing people. And from the frustration on the guy that was speaking on the news, it's obviously been an issue, and it's something that's frustrating everybody. That we now have teenagers, very young kids, man, babies that are now, I don't even know how they get in their hand on all these guns. It's like they're in an army. And then, like Tyreek said, these kids think that Grand Theft Auto is real. Of course they think it's real, because how are they getting their hands on guns? It's like Grand Theft Auto. They punch in a code, or they run to their local gun shop and they just go in there and purchase guns. It's like crazy. Tyree says the only way that stops in our community got to start holding the parents accountable and start taking a parents to jail behind the kids' actions. Oh, the parents to jail behind the kids' actions. Definitely got to hold the parents accountable. That is I saw this one news article, and I'll say this one real quick. They had a news article where they had this guy. He was a truck driver, but he would regularly take a break. I think he was a truck driver. I believe he was a truck driver. And I know at one point he might have been in the military or something, but either way, he didn't necessarily live there, but he would take care of his mom. He would often stop by the house and do things for her. And this is to Tyreek's point. it was late, maybe 2, 3 in the morning, something like that. He's at his mom's house, and he just so happened to be paying attention to the front, and he notices these teenagers, these group of kids, they were trying to come onto his property and rob them, and like rob his mom's house and everything. Whatever happened, because he came out on his front porch, he must have startled them. They had guns. Now it's a gunfight, but he has an AR and he is trained. He takes not all of them. I think one or two of them actually passed away. They probably like 14, 15, 16, that 14 to 17 age range. After that, the parents got on the news. The family did. The whole family got on the news, and they were talking about how how did he, why did he have to kill them? It's not right or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I said, that's the problem right there. They never asked the question as to why they were there in the first place. Why were teenagers not in the house and in bed? And it was a school night. So on a school night, they were out running the streets at 2 to 3 in the morning and had weapons and were not in the house. And nobody called the police to retrieve them. Hey, my kid ran away. My kid snuck out the window, snuck out the back door, front door, whatever. Instead, they wanted to blame somebody protecting their mom and property and stuff. So yeah, the parent thing can be a big issue and stuff. So whew, I think I'm about to hang it up and get some stuff done. I had fun with everybody. I want to thank everybody that came through. If you're coming into the building last, or if you're watching this on the replay, please show some love and like the video. I never ask for money or anything like this. I do it for fun. I like true crime. I like talking about relationships and stuff too. That's some of the other videos I do. If you do go to my page, you'll see me doing lives and videos about that stuff too. This is risky behavior. I don't make this channel to call people good or bad necessarily, but I do like to talk about human behavior because people do things and I kind of wonder like, what makes people do those things? So anyway, shout out to everyone that came through. Tyreek, text the spirits if they are of Yah. KPB 3721, Marcus Banks, Angela Ashkins came through today. Shout out Marcus Banks, Guns and Magnolias, the Prince of Petty, my boy Prince of Petty. I know he had to duck out. Shout out to Duck came through today. Hopefully I ain't forgetting nobody. If I am, I'm sorry. I know Crowan, shout out to Crowan was in here. Louis Ochoa was in here. Michael Jacquees was appreciate you coming through. Baby Millcat. I think I got everybody. T, shout out to T. Some people came here earlier. Hopefully I get everybody even at the top of the chat list. Very chill guy, appreciate you. Thank you to everybody coming through this risky behavior. I try to go live every weekend. I might start doing it throughout the week. I might start trying to go live throughout the week. All right, Tyreek said the peace and he's out. Appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you. Hopefully I didn't disturb anybody too much. I know watching news stories can be a little sad. Do what I do. Go watch you a comedy movie because it can get sad. Watching some of these stories as humans, sometimes we see people going through things and it's like, man, you get in that mood. You're like, man, the world is messed up, right? So definitely do what I do. Go listen to some music that picks your spirit up. Go look at some comedy, say a prayer, those type of things, stuff like that. But it is important to cover these stories and look at these things, just so you know or get a feel of what's going around. And even if the only thing I know for me, watching news, it really will make you appreciate your life and the people that you have around you, and that appreciation will make you remember, hey, be nice to the people and appreciate the people that are around you. So if anything, you can use it for that. So anywho, I'm out of here. I am, let's see, remove that. Boom. Okay. All right. And I am ending now. Appreciate you all. I am Risky Behavior, and I am out. See you next.
Risky behavior.